You're in Braves country. Drink like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes?
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub call. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the man. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
you're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
and gentlemen, welcome. We direct your attention now to home plate. Please remain standing. We call your attention to our fans here today. They will be jointly directed. And now, another fixture. Our national anthem. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's team.
Keep playing like this, will be the laughing stock of the league.
All right, boys, let's get back to basics. This is a baseball. The object of the game is to keep the baseball within the confines of the...
You're in Braves country.
Good afternoon, Braves country. The Braves are going to have to make a move. That's number one, and we'll get into the series here in a second. But the Braves are going to have to make a move across the board, and that move, you know, when you look at what is available to the Braves to make the move, I know it's been the assumption, and I want to double check, make sure they haven't made an announcement yet. Only thing that they've made an announcement, if you're in the area, and I would assume it's probably going to sell out pretty quick, but they have dropped ticket prices to $13 per ticket all weekend long for the return of Ronald Acuña Jr., who wears number 13. I got my Acuña jersey in the mail 2 days ago, so I'm glad to get that. Got it off of eBay. Pretty good price. And I think we're all excited to see what he can do, but you got to temper expectations a little bit. The thing about the Braves, when they go to make this move, and it'll be interesting to see, double checking, make sure, no, they have not made the move yet on their roster. But you got a couple of different ways you can go, and I know the assumption has been by a lot of the people that do the Brave stuff is that Stuart Fairchild is the first one to go, but I'm not sure if I'm convinced that that's the right angle. And obviously, when you're listening to this later on pregame, they'll have already made the move. So when it's all said and done, what I'm talking about here at 7:00 tonight isn't going to really have a lot of bearing on what we're talking about. What we're talking about today here at noon is which route should they go. Stuart Fairchild, to me, gives him so much leeway to do a couple of different things, because think about this. when Acuña comes back tonight and he's in the lineup, they may not want him to be in the lineup for the full 9 innings, especially if they have a big lead or if they're down by a bunch and they say, you know what, it's not worth putting those innings on your knee. Stuart Fairchild gives him a very good defensive replacement. Now, I get it. We would still have Verdugo and Eli White, but I contend that you can either say goodbye to Orlando Arcia or you can send Luke Williams packing. And the reason being for that is either one of them gives you depth in the infield on the bench, and you would still have the pinch running. Now, look, from a logistics standpoint, and we talk about if you've got a healthy roster, I honestly believe that the guy that they should send would be Orlando Arcia. Because Luke Williams, though he isn't a great bat, well, neither is Arcia at this point. And Luke Williams is a solid glove. He's got better range than Arcia, though Arcia's got a much better arm, and we know he can pick it if he can get to it. Problem is, his range has gone to hell in a handbasket. So, to me, the move would be, if I'm making the decision, I'm saying goodbye Orlando Arcia. But at the same token, they are so, for whatever reason, they are so committed to keeping Orlando Arcia around. I don't know if that's actually going to be viable. So, with that being said, if they do keep Arcia, to me, I would keep Fairchild around because he is a very good bat. He's a very good glove and a very good base runner. His bat is very, very so-so. The other thing that is interesting to me, and I looked this up today because I was curious, Orlando Arcia has a very cheap buyout, and the other thing is Orlando Arcia, I don't know how many people are going to be all that great or that eager to pick him up. So there's a very good possibility that you could drop him, DFA him, because he is out of options. You could drop him, DFA him, and then possibly scoop him back up and put him on your minor league roster. Now, do I think that's 100% going to happen if you DFA him? Probably not. There's probably someone who thinks that they can get something out of him. But when you make the choice between those three guys, Fairchild, Luke Williams, and Orlando Arcia, none of them have options left. So you can't send them down. They're all out of options. So whoever you send down, you're going to have to designate for assignment. That person goes through the mill and goes through the waiver system. You could then add them back unless they choose free agency. I just don't know what Orlando Arcia brings to you anymore. He doesn't have speed. His bat is just, it's cooked. And his range is gotten worse. This year, it was very noticeable to me on plays that he was making the last few years where you would say, look, I'm okay with the fact that he's hitting barely the Mendoza line and has no power because the guy's such a good glove. That's kind of gone by the wayside. And I don't know if it's just age or if he didn't keep himself in shape, but he does not have the range that he had before. So to me, the obvious option, if you want to stay athletic on the base paths and give you opportunities, because the Braves like to start the same starters every day. So barring injury, it's going to be Nick Allen every day at short. And it's going to be Acuña, Harris, and then a combo of Eli and Verdugo. Now, the argument, the strong argument obviously would be is, well, if you end up getting rid of Stuart Fairchild, you still have a couple of outfielders on depth. But I think you need that extra outfielder for depth for the simple fact that, A, Acuña is not going to play every day when he comes back. He's going to need some rest. And B, there's going to be games where you're going to say, let's pinch run for him because we don't want him testing that knee this early. And Stuart Fairchild gives you that. But I'm a Stuart Fairchild fan. I like anybody who can handle a bat, who can drop bunts, who has speed, and who can play defense. So I get it if you're in the camp of let's keep Arcia. There's really no strong opinion either way for me, but I would keep Fairchild. We'll see what they do. It'll be announced here in a few hours. But all in all, I believe that Robert says, what about Eli White? We're not sending Eli White down. What are you on, horse? We're not sending Eli White down. Eli White has been a godsend. Anyways, back to the rest of the story, as they say. When you look at what's going on here with the Braves, and now we know that Acuña's coming back, he's going to be at the top of the order. What do you do with the rest of the order? It's going to be a platoon of Eli and Verdugo out and left on most days, except for the days where they want to give Acuña the day off, and then you'll see them in their normal corner positions. How I would lay out the lineup we talked about this a little bit last night during the game. To me, with the right-hander on the mound, I would have Verdugo bat second because I just don't think Riley is a number 2 hitter. I think you're much better off having him deeper in the lineup, much deeper in the lineup, because he can clean up what's on the base paths. I don't love the idea of him batting second with Acuña at first, batting leadoff. I'd rather have someone like an Eli if a lefty's on the mound, or like a Verdugo if a righty's on the mound, because they are true table setters, guys that move guys over. And Acuña gets on, you're going to want someone who can handle the bat that can get him over. And then you go into, if it's a righty on the mound, you go into Matt Olson and then Ozuna. And then to me, that's where you put Riley's behind Ozuna or Olson, depending if it's a righty or lefty on the mound. In other words, drop Riley down to the 5 or 6 spot. And you may want to flip-flop it if you've got Drake in the lineup. Maybe you put Riley behind Drake. So like, for instance, I'm going to take last night for an example. Last night, if I were building the lineup and I had Acuña leading off and there was a righty on the mound, I would have Doogie hitting second, and then I would go Olson to Ozuna to Drake to Riley. And then if you really want to put Ozzie behind Riley, that's fine. I contend versus a righty, I'd rather have Michael Harris and then have Ozzie hitting 8th at this point until he picks it up. Ozzie's he has been in a season-long slump. I know he's got 5 home runs, but the majority of his pop came at the beginning of the season. I'd rather have him down there and where he's not putting a lot of pressure on himself and he works himself out. I still think Ozzie will get back to being Ozzie. I still think he'll hit somewhere between 20 to 25 home runs. But the idea that he should be in the middle of the lineup, to me, is really going off of past seasons. It's not going off of, hey, he deserves to be in the middle of the lineup because of what he's done this year. Good to see you, Nathaniel and Helian and Robert and John. These are all the people in the YouTube chat. Looks like Jason's in here as well, and a couple other folks. I see some folks over in TikTok that JB and Brianne and Nick. It rolls a little faster, and I can't scroll back and forth. So I did bring actually some specs so I could see it a little better, but I also know that the print's so much smaller on TikTok. But back to what I was talking about with the lineup, to me, that's what you do. You put a table setter at 2, and then you put the rest of the heavy sticks in the 3 through 6, the 3 through 7 spot. You leave Nick Allen down there at the number 9 spot, it's fine. I don't hate the idea if you want to put a better bat at number 9, because they're going to see a lot of fastballs with Ronald Acuña Jr. standing on deck. And you could honestly make a strong argument for, let's say we either put Michael or Ozzie down at the 9 spot and move Nick up to the 8 spot, just because they are going to benefit more from seeing fastballs, hittable pitches with Acuña on deck than Allen, who's a weak punch and Judy hitter, who, yeah, it's going to help him, but we're not talking about getting into one. At the most, Nick Allen's going to do on 99 times out of 100, if he gets a really good hittable pitch, he's going to dump it into right center or left center field. He might split the gap, but he doesn't really have home run power per se. So that would be the argument that I would give to moving Allen above either Michael or Ozzie. It's not that I think he's a better hitter. He's not. And he definitely doesn't have the power those two guys have. If you put Ozzie or Michael right in front of Acuña, they are going to get some really hittable pitches. And we saw what Michael Harris did in 2023 when Acuña was tearing the cover off the ball. And we typically had Michael batting 9th when he first came up with the Braves. He was getting into pitches because they're worried about, well, Acuña's coming up. I can't just walk a guy, so let me try my best against the guy right in front of him. So that's the argument I would have with putting. I wouldn't want Nick much higher than the 9th, or excuse me, 8th, because he gives you no power. He gives you, his OPS is always going to be hovering around the high 600s, very low 700s, even when he's on a hitting streak. So that's what we're talking about now. And that, to me, is the number one question, is when you make your decision, and whether it's Williams, whether it's Arcia, whether it's Fairchild, they all are out of options. So one of them's got to get DFA'd, unless they get really creative, but we won't get into that scenario. Depending on who gets sent down, you're still going to have, remember, Eli White can play infield as well. And they tried him out at short and second base this spring quite a bit. Even though he'd played it in the past, they wanted to get the cobwebs out in case they needed him to play the infield. So there is still that lingering there too. You're going to have, bare minimum, 2 guys that can play infield defense still on the roster, sitting on your bench, whether it's Arcia and Eli or Luke Williams and Eli, whoever it is. What Luke Williams gives to us, I believe, is the speed factor, and he's a solid glove, and he's got better range. Arcia no longer has any kind of component that makes me go, well, you don't want to lose him. Who gives a damn? Just get rid of him. He doesn't hustle. He gives away at bats, and his speed is gone. He did what he did for us for a small period of time, and we got the most out of him. But sometimes it's time to get rid of an old clunker. So with all that being said, let's get into the actual series itself. As the Braves, you can see it on the screen here on YouTube and Facebook, on the potential starting pitchers for this weekend. And right now, if you're on TikTok and you can't see the screen, it's Sale versus Pivetta tonight, 7:15 first pitch. It's Grant Holmes versus Michael King tomorrow, 4:10 first pitch. And then Sunday, 4:10 as well, Schwellenbach versus Cease. Why is it 4:10 on Sunday on a home game? It's because the Braves are trying to make the entire day a big thing because it's Memorial Day weekend. So that's the number one reasoning for that. They figured more people could come out to the ballpark if it's a later game in the day on a Memorial Day Sunday. So that's why they did that. It's not, all these games are locally televised. None of them are Apple. Apple tonight is the Mets and Dodgers, and I think they have a secondary game like St. Louis. And then the Fox game tomorrow is the Mets and Dodgers, and then ESPN game is Mets and Dodgers. So if you're a Mets and Dodgers fan, you're really ticked off that you don't get any local coverage this weekend on a really big series. The Phillies, by the way, are in Oakland to take on the A's. So the Phillies are on a 7-game winning streak. The Braves right now are so far behind there in that division, it's not even worth looking at it, because Philly got off to a hot streak just as the Braves started to kick the can around. We're 7.5 behind Philly and 5.5 behind the Mets. But as far as the wild card goes, the team that has the last spot in the wild card right now is the San Diego Padres. And they're coming to Atlanta on a 6-game losing streak. You hope you can extend that, but realize they're going to come out fighting like a bunch of angry bees, because you come on a 6-game losing streak. Now, they might be a little deflated. They have been on the road, but any way you look at it, 6-game losing streak, they don't want that to get to 9. The Braves just hopefully they can get the next 2 out of 3. Pivetta, King, and Cease, we saw them all in the first series of the season. We did terribly. Obviously, we got swept, but not to mention the fact the offense was non-existent. The hope is Acuña coming in is going to put that little extra charge into the offense. Sale on the mound. I love their chances tonight versus Pivetta. I really do. I think the Braves will hit Pivetta a little better, but bigger than that, Sale's got to be Sale, because even with Acuña coming in, you can't expect him to rip the cover off the ball and hit 4 home runs. What you hope for is that maybe he gets into one, but the big thing is he gets on and he stirs the pot up a little bit and gets the offense going, and Sale can get it to the back of the bullpen. Tomorrow's game, to me, is the biggest question mark. It's Grant Holmes versus Michael King. Michael King's been pretty good. He has had a couple of bumpy outings, but all in all, King's been pretty good. Braves could not hit Michael King the first time they saw him. Hopefully that changes a little bit, and hopefully all that will take into – what is this nonsense on here? I wouldn't think you'd be able to – all right, whatever. Whoever it is just got blocked. I don't know what all that nonsense was on there that they were trying to sell you on the screen. But anyways, the Braves going into this weekend, Holmes versus King on Saturday, to me, is one of the biggest tipping points, because Schwellenbach versus Cease, I would hope Schwellenbach gives us a better outing than what he's given us the last few times out. Grant Holmes has not been terrible, but at the same token, he has been a guy that you can expect he's going to struggle at some point in the outing. It is a very good Padres offense we're about to run into, and on top of it, he usually doesn't go very deep. Schwellenbach and Sale need to make sure they're the cornerstones, the bookends of this weekend, going 6-7 strong, and Grant Holmes you can spell into the middle of that bullpen. Now, we still haven't gotten any news. Hopefully that changes, but we haven't gotten any news that Kimbrel is going to be reinstated, but you would think that's going to be coming in the short term as well. So, with all that being said, what are we confirming? Let me see. Arcia was DFA'd. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know that. So my guess was right. We got breaking news here. Evidently, it was Orlando Arcia. I figure it was coming. Well, I don't see an official announcement on. Oh, here it is. Okay, they just updated it. It took a second for the screen to load. So Arcia was DFA'd. So it's like I said before, I was listening to a Braves podcast earlier this week, and I don't want to drag the guy, so I'm not going to keep bringing it up. But the point is, he was definitive that it should and it would be Stuart Fairchild, and I kept saying to myself, I don't think that's a given, and obviously I ended up being right. But why in the hell would you want to get rid of Stuart Fairchild with his defense, his running ability, able to play the right field corner, when you know there's a very good chance that when Acuña comes back here, at least for the next few weeks, you don't want him going out there every day. And I'd be willing to bet they don't have Acuña go out there we'll take your typical 6-game week. I don't think there's going to be many times where he plays all 6 games the entire season. I think you're going to see him starting off in a 6-game week, probably best case scenario 4 starts, and probably doesn't get to the end of all 4 starts. It'll depend on what the score is late in the game. And then as we go on, you're still going to get 5 of 6, because I still think they're going to give, and they should let him continue to heal that knee so that when you really need him later in the season into, we'll say early September to late September, late August, that's when you might start pushing him a little bit, but you still want him to be fresh every time. And when you have as much depth as we do right now in the outfield, there's no reason to push him for six. Look, as a guy who's got him on a fantasy team, yeah. Would I want him out there every day? In theory, yeah. But we're not talking about fantasy. We're talking about real baseball. In real baseball, you need his knee to constantly be ready to roll. So when he does play, he's 100% on board. He's not out there fighting through some kind of an injury. Let him be in there in the lineup every single day when he's healthy, but give him those days off. If we can give Sean Murphy 3 days off a week, we can give Acuña 1 to 2. And so the Stuart Fairchild thing to me over Acuña, over Arcia is great news. And I love it because now we're talking about staying athletic. And I think the bigger thing is I really don't think it ever came down to Fairchild. I know there are people that think it did, but I think it came down to, do you keep Luke Williams or do you keep Arcia? And like I said earlier in the show, to me, you keep Luke Williams because he's more athletic. You can use him as a pinch runner. He plays defense fine. And Arcia has lost his step. Someone's going to pick up Orlando. Someone's going to stick him on their bench. I'm okay with that. I didn't like his antics towards the end of the season last year. You remember when he played the Padres in the playoffs? And Orlando Arcia was hugging people at second base in the middle of the Braves losing, 3 or 4-0 at the time? What the hell was that? We're in the middle of the playoffs. I don't think he's got the fighter instinct in him. And honestly, he curled up like a little baby in a ball when he got called out for doing the attaboy thing in the dugout. In the clubhouse on Bryce Harper, and Bryce Harper kind of stuck his chest out to him the next game, staring him down. He curled up like a little baby. He didn't do a damn thing. Apologize, dropped my phone. I know it's about to go off here in a second, so I wanted to grab it. But yeah, so I'm not going to miss Orlando Arcia on a lot of levels, but one of the biggest things is, A, I didn't like his personality. I think he's kind of a putz, for lack of a better term. And B, you couldn't put him in for anything. The other night when we had him in as our final pinch runner to run for Ozuna, that was a last resort just because Ozuna is so incredibly unathletic at this point that you can't have him. If you can choose, you don't want him on the base paths. But Orlando Arcia is not much quicker. So everything, if you flip that entire game over and you're at the end now at that point, after you're going through the progression of who would have been taken in and out, you would have had either an Eli, a Stuart Fairchild, or maybe Luke Williams running for Ozuna at that point. So to me, it's a win-win. The series itself, Schwellenbach versus Cease on Sunday, that game has got some questionable whether we're going to get it in or not because of the showers that are expected on Sunday. Right now it's being projected sometime in the afternoon. That game's supposed to start at 4:10. We're going to have the broadcast on, but this is going to be the Salute to Veterans show where we're going to put the screen on for you, but we're going to play the Salute to Veterans as we always do on Memorial Day and 4th of July. And I got some things going on that I won't get into on air, but I got to be available to help some folks possibly. So I won't be here, but I will be in the chat and watching the game along with y'all. And eventually I hope to have a couple of cold ones, and we can have some fun in the chat on the Sunday, on the Sunday game. But as far as tonight and tomorrow night, everything, all the other games we're carrying. The other thing is from the news that I got, which is, like I said, I'm not going to get into it, but we will be here for the St. Louis Cardinals series, which we originally had planned not to be. I know I'll be here for that Friday game. This is right before the All-Star game. And I think I'll be here for the Saturday game as well. But then obviously Sunday I'm meeting all you up in Atlanta for the All-Star game. So we might lose this Sunday's broadcast, but you're gaining at least two down the road. And the Yankees series will start right off of that, and I will be here for the entire series for that as well. So, and that, look, there's a very good chance that first game out of the All-Star break, depending on the usage in the All-Star game, it's going to be Yankees at Atlanta, Max Fried versus Chris Sale or Spencer Strider. That is a real possibility. And how fun is that series going to be? But that'll about tie it up here, do it for us. If you're just joining us, the news broke a little after, we'll say around 12:15. I was expecting that they normally do them right at noon, or they do them right at 2, or they do it right at 3. But Orlando Arcia has been DFA'd, and obviously Ronald Acuña Jr. has been called up, and he will be in the lineup tonight. And we've got 3 games this weekend. Then we have the off day on Monday, and then we go to Philly, and then we return home for Boston, and that completes out the month. And this is, look, we talked about it a few weeks ago when we were playing Cincinnati, we were playing Pittsburgh, and getting Washington. Supposedly at the time 6 times, only got him 5. Or I'm sorry, 7 times. Supposed to get him 7 times, only got him 6 because of the rain out. This is where we were supposed to take advantage of things. Well, we spit the bit in Washington and lost 2 games up there. We ended up going 3-3 against the Nats. The Nats had our number last year, and they continue to do that. But we would have liked to have been much better. At least a split in that series yesterday would have made everything else much better. But losing the series in Pittsburgh was brutal. Getting swept on just a 2-game series in Washington was brutal. And now they come home, and it's San Diego, it's Philadelphia, and it's Boston. The 2 of the 3 series are in Atlanta. This is not going to be easy. And they're going to have to go out there and push. But we expect guys like Sale, like Schwellenbach, like Strider, all these guys, it's time to show up. I'm not going to kill A.J. Smith-Shawver last night. He is still a rookie. He's still eligible for Rookie of the Year, for those of y'all who may not know that. And he had a bad outing. That's going to happen with rookies. It's one of the reasons why he hasn't been up until now taking that 5th spot, because these guys that you see down the front go, oh, man, he did this and he did that. Well, you're paying attention to that one outing. You're not paying attention to the others. But that'll do it for us. We're going to get out of here, so I'm not in your hair so damn long on a Friday afternoon. We'll see you tonight, 7:15 first pitch. And Acuña Matata, we're going to have the logo you see up in the corner. We're going to have that up in the corner tonight as opposed to your BCR, letting people know that that's the emoji that you got. Put it on the screen one more time. And we out of here. Y'all have a great one, Braves Country.
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. We're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac McGee. Here's your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off the right fielder for the San Diego Padres, Fernando Tatis. He's batting .290, 12 home runs, 27 RBI, 8 stolen bases. Batting second, playing first, Luis Arias. 3 home runs, 16 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .304. Manny Machado batting third, playing third. 3 home runs, 20 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .305. Jackson Merrill is in center field and batting cleanup. 4 home runs, 17 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .352. Xander Bogaerts batting fifth, playing short. 3 homers, 20 RBI, 8 stolen base, batting .241. Gavin Sheets is the designated hitter and batting sixth. 8 home runs, 28 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .286. Iglesias is at second, batting seventh. A .240 average with 10 RBI, 2 stolen bases. Diaz is back behind home plate, batting eighth. 3 home runs, 6 RBI, a .230 clip. And Lockridge is in left field and batting ninth. He has 4 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .211. On the mound for the San Diego Padres, it's Nick Pivetta, 5-2 with a .286 ERA, a .99 WHIP, 50 innings, 56 strikeouts, versus 35 hits allowed, 15 walks, 5 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with the conductor, Chris Sale, who's 2-3 with the 3.62 ERA. A 1.35 WHIP, 54 innings, 72 strikeouts, 59 hits allowed, 15 walks served, 6 home runs given up. Backing up Chris Sale in the bottom of the first inning. For the first time in almost a year, it's Ronald Acuña Jr.
Bravo.
He'll be in right field and should pack a punch today at the top of the Braves lineup. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 8 home runs, 28 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .276. Matt Olson batting third, playing first. 11 home runs, 28 RBI, a .250 average. Marcell Ozuna, the designated hitter and batting cleanup. 9 home runs, 24 RBI, a .278 average. Batting fifth and in left field, Alex Verdugo, 0 home runs, a .252 average. Sean Murphy batting sixth and behind home plate. 8 home runs, 18 RBI, a .231 clip. Ozzie Albies batting seventh, playing second. 5 home runs, 17 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .226. And Michael Harris II will be patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves with 3 home runs, 29 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .225. Nick Allen batting ninth and playing short. 10 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .258. Calling balls and strikes tonight behind home plate, it's Adam Beck. Your first base umpire, Dan Iasona. Second base will be manned by Dexter Kelly, and down the third base line, it's CB Buckner, which means if everything goes well, we dodge CB behind the plate, and that's not nothing. He's one of the worst in the business. Game time temperatures here at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. First pitch are expected to be in the high 70s at 78 degrees, with the wind blowing out to left at about 8 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 185 on the money line. The over-under is 7.5. Our pick to click tonight, well, this should come as no surprise. We're going to take Ronald Acuña Jr. He's batting just 7 for 30 lifetime against Nick Pivetta, but we feel like he's going to re-energize this crowd in a big way and do some big things this weekend. We'll take your Atlanta Braves to follow his lead and put some runs on the board. Give me the Bravos, 5-2, with Chris Sale rising to the occasion as well. Acuña joins this team once again, 1 game under 500 at 24-25 in the 50th game of the season. Remember that when we look back on this summer, because this should be the catalyst that sends this Braves team into the right direction. The straw that stirs the drink is back. Let's do it, Braves country, on a Memorial Day weekend. We salute our fallen heroes. Put your click in the chat, slap that like, and let's get ready, Braves Country. We'd like to thank everybody for choosing Braves Country Radio, and a special thanks to all the country club members. Please like on your way in and subscribe, set those alerts, and share Braves Country Radio to help build the crowd so we can continue to bring you the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. Atlanta Braves Baseball right here on Braves Country Radio. Your modern-day superstation is in its 5th season of bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves and our one-of-a-kind production. Take us anywhere you go for over 170 Atlanta Braves ball games. Please like and subscribe today. Join the Country Club. Thank you to all the Country Club members. You help support Braves Country Radio.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening. We'll start from about the 6:47 spot, so if you haven't chimed in the last, 20 minutes, jump back in. Good to see you, John. I see Mark, Ricky, Ricardo, James Hagan, King James Hagan, Uncle Charlie Fritz, Michael Mejia, Michael, you're spelling Braves wrong, but yes, go Braves. Helion, good to see you. Gary McCoy, the real McCoy. JC in the house. What you talking about? Willis Mathis. Who else do we have in here? I think I already said John Colby covers. What you covering today? What's your pick today? See who else we have here. Jameson Taylor in the chat. B.A. Baracus, Brian Andrews is here tonight. Robert. Merrill. Nathaniel Brooks. Merrill, I see you're a Padres fan. I'm wondering if you named your channel after Jackson Merrill. Let me see what we have here. Anybody else in here? Charlie Elrod. SRH. Dondre. Welcome in. Nathaniel Harlow. Along with Nathaniel Brooks, Dallas McFarland. Justin Green Machine. Birdwell. William Type. Edward Spry. All right, we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, some guy by the name of Ronald Acuña Jr., I don't know if you've heard him before, but he is going to make his debut for 2025. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. It helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the radio news.
Sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. There is nothing wrong. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into
Adventures in Time and Space.
We offer you
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Hi, folks. Join us now for another Braves ball game. Yes, sir. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball. No more measles and free tickets to the circus.
You're in Braves Country.
This is a reminder, disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan and refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
Good evening, Braves Country. Good to see everybody in the chat. Welcome, Padres fans, as well. We should have a good one tonight. Good series. Acuña's back in the lineup. Braves are wearing their Friday night reds with the blue lettering across. Braves on the chest, outlined in white. Tomahawk in red as well underneath Braves. The red tomahawk outlined in white. And throughout the handle and the blade of the tomahawk, it's striped with yellow. Braves wearing white pants with red stripes down the side, outlined in blue. The blue ball cap with the red bill and the white A representing the city of Atlanta. San Diego Padres are wearing their road uniforms, the brown ones, the doo-doo browns, the pinstripes. You poor Padres fans, man. Y'all have the worst, the absolute worst in all of sports. San Diego across the chest in brown, outlined in yellow. Brown caps, the SD on the front. We're just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Acuña is coming onto the field, and the crowd giving him a standing ovation, tipping the cap to the crowd. We're just about set. Let's get it. Let's give him the introduction he deserves. Welcome in. Yeah, those actually are not the San Diego throwback uniforms. See y'all talking in the chat. Those uniforms were actually, we're looking at right now, those were created in 2008, I believe. The throwback uniforms actually have a little bit of a, I'm not going to say I love them, but I like them because we grew up on them, but those are not it. You can see them on your screen. They added those pinstripes and all the different colorings about 15, 20 years ago. You got to go way back to the brown uniforms, the San Diego. Fernando Tatis is going to start this thing off. Lefty-righty matchup. Tatis set to face Chris Sale. Sale throwing his final warm-up tosses as he comes to home plate. Chris Sale, a little bit of sun of his eyes, comes set. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way is 96 in on the hands. It's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Sale comes set and brings it. 78 on the outer black. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Padres nothing, just getting going here if you're listening along. The 1-1 misses, slider, 2-1. What you'll see from Sale today is a 4-pitch mix, predominantly the slider and the four-seamer. Those come in and they combine 88% of the time. The change 8% of the time, and the sinker, just to keep you honest, at 4%. That 2-1 slider misses well high out of the zone. Ball 3-1. So Sale, who has had some early game troubles trying to get his feel. The 3-1 to Tatis. He digs in. Swing! That ball's rifled foul down the first base line into the right field corner and out of play. Full count. Standing on deck is Arias. Machado in the hole. Full count to Tatis. 12 homers on the year, 27 RBI, and 891 OPS. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the 97 gas on the outer edge. One away. Good pitch by Sale. Tatis chased it a little bit. When it's coming that fast, though, and you got 2 strikes, it's easy to say you lay off that one. So 1 down. How the defense will fan out tonight from left to right in the outfield, it's Verdugo, Michael Harris, and Ronald Acuña Jr. in right. Around the horn in the infield, Riley to Allen to Ozzie to Olsen. Smurf is behind the plate. First pitch on the way to Arias is a four-seam fastball, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup. Arias batting .304 on the year, 3 home runs, 16 ribbies, a .777 OPS. The pitch. Fists it foul. It's 0-2. A 97-mile-an-hour fastball right in on his hands. An 0-2 count. Infield is back and to the right. Playing Arias to pull. I don't know if that's the best defense against him because he is a slap hitter. They set up outside. The 0-2. Swing. Slaps that back foul. So an 0-2 count. Braves nothing, Padres nothing. Machado stands on deck. The 0-2. Sale brings it. Swing, slaps it to left field. Coming in, fighting the sun and making the catches. Verdugo, 2 down. That sun is clipping the outfielders right in the face, predominantly into left and to center. Not a whole lot in right as the sun is going behind those walls. And it should be all in all gone by the end of the first inning, but they are going to be fighting a little bit. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring Machado to the plate. First pitch on the way to Manny Machado. The slider off the edge. It's 1-0. Machado batting .305, 3 home runs, 20 RBI, and 814 OPS. The 1-0 from Sale. Twists and brings it. Slider slaps the edge, 1-1. Braves trying to get back to the 500 mark. The Padres trying to end a 6-game losing streak. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Slider, 1-2. 1-2 count. Braves infield is back into the left. Comes set. 95 up top. Looked like it hit the zone. Did not get the call. 2-2. The 2-2 count. Swing. Rifles it down into the right field corner. Acuña comes up with it. Turns. Fires it back into the infield. And it's going to be a long single for Machado. Good hustle by Ronald. 1 on, 2 outs. One on, 2 outs. Lefty-lefty matchup. Jackson Merrill takes 97 off the edge. It's 1-0. 1-0. Kicks and fires. 98. Just misses. Ball 2, 2-0. Two-0 count. Swing, chops it down the first base side. Olsen gives it a look, but it went well foul. 2-1. Braves nothing, Padres nothing. 2 down here in the top of the first. Manny Machado, the first base hit of the game. Rifled a single down the right field line if you're just joining us. Acuña was able to cut it off and keep him to 1 base. The 2-1 from Sale. Just misses outside. 3-1. Little trouble with his control here in the first inning. Sale now at 19 pitches, though just the 1 base runner. Three-1 count. Swing. Dribbles it over to Ozzie. Ozzie has it, fires it to first, and it's a 4-3 put out to end the inning. We'll grab the bats, and Acuña will come to the plate when we return.
You know what this has to do with? The man in the cape. I bet you he is mixed up in this. I don't trust men in capes.
And you can't cast aspersions on someone just because they're wearing a cape. Superman wore a cape. I'll be damned if I'm going to stand here and let you say something bad about him.
All right, Superman's the exception.
Armchair.
Christian Yelich, single and a run. Very dangerous hitter. The crowd is on their feet. We're down to 1 strike, Braves country. Cross everything. So many heroes here. Wow! Called third strike. He got caught watching the paint dry, and that's it. The Atlanta Braves will head to the National League Championship Series. They knock out the Milwaukee Brewers, a team that everyone had forgotten about. Everyone had left for dead.
Yes, Henry Aaron has done it. The fireworks are going. His teammates are at home plate. And listen to this crowd.
I felt great. I felt like the world was lifted off of my shoulders. It was done, over with, and I felt like no matter what people thought about it, it was my record.
In the decades to come, the memory of the scene might blur, But the memory of the sound will remain with everyone who was there. The sound of Henry Aaron's bat when it hit the baseball tonight. At home plate, surrounded by an ovation that came down around him as if it were a waterfall of appreciation.
Welcome back. Ronald Acuña Jr. coming to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Nick Pivetta, his first at bat in almost a year. 3 days from now was the injury. First pitch on the way. Swing! That ball is belted high and deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boo, bam, it's gone! Are you kidding me? Am I dreaming? Ram-a-llama ding-dong, a solo shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-0 lead with the 467-foot blast by Acuña.
Bravo. Bravo.
Holy Toledo.
Bravo.
First pitch in on the way to Austin Riley's a check swing foul. It's 0-1. We knew he'd been hot down on the farm, but man, he took that fastball right down Main Street. He has got a grin on his face in that dugout and putting his head back almost like he can't even believe it. He absolutely smoked that thing. 467 feet. Are you kidding? 1-1 to Riley is a swing and a miss strike. It's 1-2. Braves 1, Padres nothing. The very first pitch he has seen in almost a year. The 1-2. Up top, 93 just misses. 2-2. Man, did he smoke that. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. Two count. Riley trying to find his way aboard. Pivetta looks in, brings it, swing and a miss, strike 3. Cutter got him on the outer edge. 1 away. So 1 down, you can best believe all around Major League Baseball, that home run that you just witnessed live is going to be going all over social media and everybody's feed as Ronald Acuña Jr. Who was it trying to tell us he wasn't a superstar the other night? You wrong! First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is smoked up the middle, but right into the teeth of the defense. It's going to be a 6-3 put out. 1 pitch, 1 out. 2 away. Two down. That'll bring Marcell Ozuna up to the plate. That was a hard hit ball by Olson, too. A worm burner right up the middle. They just had him played perfectly. And they're fortunate it didn't hit the bag as it skipped over it. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 93 up top. 1-1. JC, what made you think wearing cargo pants would make you look young? Hasn't been in style in 30 years, man. 1-1 count. Outside wide. 2-1. Braves 1, Padres nothing. Good thing I put that clip together today for the home run. We didn't have that home run clip till I put it together this afternoon. I was like, man, I got a feeling he might go off tonight. The 2-1 pitch just misses the outside. Diaz wanted that call. It looked like it missed, but it missed where he caught it. It might have crossed the plate in the strike zone. So a 3-1 to Ozuna. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch from Pivetta. Down and away, ball 4. So great at bat by Ozuna. He'll work his way aboard. And your Atlanta Braves have 1 on, 2 out. And Alex Verdugo. This is the thing about this lineup tonight. And you know they're going to change it 100 times. But what an odd pairing to put Verdugo, who has 0 home runs, right behind Ozuna. First pitch on the way is outside wide. Curveball. It's 1-0. I know they want the lefty part in there, but man, I'd either have. I think I would stick with Murphy and Baldwin behind Ozuna as the 1-0 swing, rips it into right field, and that's down for a base hit. They'll go station to station. That's another reason, because Ozuna, with his lack of speed, you're not going to get him going. You know, Verdugo 9 times out of 10 is getting a single. So you're going for basically 2 batters later. That's kind of a big ask. Sean Murphy will come to the plate. I'm sure they'll change 100 times, but just seems like you should be putting Smurf or Michael and either want Doogie up at the number 2 spot right after Acuña, or I want him much further down in the lineup, like 7 or 8. First pitch on the way to Sean, swings and misses at a sweeper well off the plate. It's 0-1. Pivetta, though he's had a lot of traffic and gave up the home run, he's only got 16 pitches. So he's pretty okay in that spot unless the Braves continue to expand this inning. The 0-1, swing and a miss, chase that sweeper again. Murphy has no shot on that pitch. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Pivetta comes set, 2 on, 2 out. I'd say they're going to go to that same pitch again. The 0-2. Yep. Swing, pops it up. Can of corn, back behind home plate. Will it stay in play? Just bends in to the seats behind it. So an 0-2 count. Now with 2 strikes, you got to guard the plate. And I just figured he's going to see that sweeper at least one more time. A single should score Ozuna, though he does not have much speed. The 0-2 pops it up. Another can of corn into center field. Coming in, making the easy catch is Jackson Merrill, and that'll end the inning. But not before Ronald Acuña Jr. goes yard and makes this a 1-0 game here in Braves country. How about it?
Bravo. The beauty of baseball, there's no time limit. You have to let the other guy have an opportunity. It's not basketball. We can run the clock out and pass it around, foul each other for the last 3 minutes of the game. We're not running the ball up the middle or taking a knee like it is in football. You have to face your opponent. Your opponent has every opportunity down to the very last pitch of the game to win a game. That's the beauty of baseball. That's why I love baseball the way I do.
Armchair.
Now, for me, I wasn't good enough to guess pitches. I looked for one pitch, every at-bat, every pitch, fastball right down the middle. Yeah. That's it. As soon as I saw it, I would swing. So I'd look fastball down the middle every single pitch, and my approach was to stay to right center field.
Hey, you want to watch the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer?
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
It was awesome. It was great. It's everything I thought it was going to be.
Then why are you so mad?
March 2025!
Yeah?
I'll be dead or in jail by then. They're making games for people who obviously they think have their life together. My life's not together. I live 2 weeks at a time. 2 weeks at a time. They'll probably repossess this house by the time that game comes out.
What are you doing?
I'm going to drink a beer.
Why?
I got plenty of time to kill. I mean, why not? Damn.
Who are you on the phone with?
My doctor, okay? I'm trying to get my blood pressure under control.
I'm glad you're finally starting to take care of yourself.
No. I just need to live long enough to play this game.
One afternoon on the Brooklyn waterfront, a boy named William Cummings, known to his friends as Candy, noticed that he could make a clamshell curve when he hurled it through the air and began to wonder if he might be able to do the same thing one day with a baseball. In April 1867, now pitching for the Brooklyn Excelsiors, Andy Cummings tried out his new pitch. Though it was outlawed, everyone started throwing the curveball. Purists were appalled.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Chris Sale goes to work. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Right there on the inner cut. It's 0-1. Bogarts, Xander type, stands in. 3 home runs, a .241 average. Chris Sale, swing, chops it over towards second. Ozzy's got it. He'll flip it to first, and it's a 4-3 put out. 1 down. One away. Sheets, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way to Sheets is 96 on the inner cut. It's 0-1. A little surprised they went with the left-handed Sheets, but he does hit lefties well. Usually you see the left-hander sit versus Sale, the 0-1. That slider looked like it snapped the edge, but didn't get the call. 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch from Sale. Slider well off the plate. Ball 2-1. Braves lead at 1-0. If you're just joining us, a solo home run by Ronald Acuña Jr. on the first pitch that he saw in almost a year on the MLB level. The 2-1 pitch, swing, lifts it into center field, going back on his horse, chasing. She gone. Solo shot drilled right down the throat of Chris Sale, and it's a tie ball game, 1-1. Just got over the wall, maybe to the second row, his 9th home run of the year. 97-mile-an-hour fastball in on it. Wasn't a bad pitch, honestly. He just went down and got it right in his sweet spot. If Harris had a little more time to get to that, he might scale the wall and knock it down. He had a long way to go on that one. First pitch on the way, 96 on the inner track, is right there for a strike. To Iglesias, the former Met, it's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup, Jose Iglesias. The 0-1, 95 misses. They check down the line. First base umpire Dan Iasona says no dice. 1-1. Iglesias was the Met last year that had the OMG song that they pretty much use as their battle cry all year long. Is the 95-mile-an-hour fastball hits up top. It's 1-2. It's batting .240 on the year with 10 RBI, a .570 OPS. He had a career year last year, wasn't able to cash in. The 1-2 lifts it into center field. Right underneath it is Money Mike. He'll make the catch. 2 down. Two down. That'll bring Diaz, the backstop for the San Diego Padres. Lefty-righty. First pitch on the way is a 78-mile-an-hour slider right around the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1 kicks and fires. Swing, pops it up. Can of corn, will it stay in play? Murph throws his mask. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So the Padres tie it up. Time for the Braves to go back to work. 1-1, going to the bottom of 2.
Max, a woman in my section wants to know if we do anything gluten-free. What do I tell her? Tell her she's not allergic to gluten. She's just masking an eating disorder.
Who wins in a cage match of Ronda Rousey and Bruce Jenner versus... Ronda Rousey and Bruce Jenner, or Caitlyn Jenner, versus Michael Sam and Ray Rice? Well, I tried to make it as even as possible.
Armchair.
I may have been a little irrational today.
A little?
Shut up!
Well, let me say this. I'm talking to the players, man. If you're going to make $50, $60 million a year to play basketball 3 or 4 days a week, play basketball, man. Now, if you're injured, don't play. But everybody hurts after the first 2 weeks of the season. Your legs sore, your knees sore. If you're injured, I don't want you to play. But the notion that $30, $40, $50 million to play basketball 4 days a week, y'all got the best shoes, you got the best medical staff, you got these guys sleeping in chambers, you got ice baths. Man, if you can play, shut the hell up and play.
I heard that this year we at Harvard won the baseball championship because we have a pitcher who has a fine curveball. I am further instructed that the purpose of the curveball is to deliberately deceive the batter. Harvard is not in the business of teaching deception. Charles Eliot, president of Harvard College.
Friday night baseball here on Braves Country. Welcome back. Ozzie Albies will step to the plate. Faced Nick Pivetta. The Braves scored 1 run on Pivetta on a solo shot with Acuña in the first inning. Put a couple on, but couldn't get them across after getting 2 outs. We'll go back to work here. This is the 7, 8, and 9 hitters are due up. So it's Ozzie, Michael, and Nick. Righty lefty with Ozzie on the left side in the open stance. Pivetta goes back to work. First pitch on the way is a curveball, misses high. It's 1-0. That was Pivetta's 20th pitch of the evening. The 1-0. Another hanger, but this time grabs the top of the zone. 1-1. A couple of cement mixers there by Pivetta. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing! That ball's hammered down the right field line, but plenty foul. Well out in front of that. Goes smashing into the top deck's facade down the right field side, but about a mile to the right of the foul pole. 1-2 to Ozzie. Ooh, caught looking, strike 3. That one was really close. You can make the argument it might have been a touch off the edge, but definitely too close to take. 1 down. Backwards K for Ozzie. He didn't like the call, and it did appear to be a little off the plate, but once again with 2 strikes, you just simply can't take that pitch. Harris stands to the plate. First pitch on the way to Michael is another hanging curveball. It's 0-1. He definitely doesn't show any signs of being worried about throwing hangers to these Braves batters in the bottom of the order. The 0-1. Curveball off the edge, 1-1. So if he follows suit, he went 2 curveballs to Ozzie, then threw a fastball that Ozzie hammered but fouled. The 1-1. Swing, hits it over to the right-hand side. Easy 4-3 put out. Quickly 2 away. Back to that curveball again. That one he got a little further down in the zone. Harris was unable to get under it. So quickly 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring Nick Allen to the plate. Allen should see some good pitches sitting in that number 9 hole. First pitch on the way. Swing, lifts it into right field, making the hopping catches to Tatis, and a 1-pitch, 1 out. He gone. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the 3rd we go. Braves tied at 1 with the Padres.
Hi, I'm going to be your waitress because my mother drank.
knows a very unforgettable moment took place in All-Star Game history back in 1970 in Cincinnati. And as we run it up here, I wonder if you'd talk about it and describe it.
Well, I'm running third. Hickman got to hit the center, and I start to slide head first right there, but I saw I couldn't be safe because Fosse was blocking the plate, and it was my advantage because he was reaching for the ball, and I happened to hit him at the right time, and I scored the winning run in an extra inning ball game. And I missed 3 games, but unfortunately he separated his shoulder and played the next month with that, and it sort of ruined his career. But I think you have to try to do anything. I think that was a clean slide because of the way he was positioned at the plate. You're no catcher, you know what I mean. And I didn't try to hurt anybody because he was at my house till 3 in the morning the night before, and I was just trying to be safe playing in Cincinnati.
Thank you, Pete. Back up to you.
Armchair.
Must be sitting on the slider. The Braves standing room only now. Matzik trying to deliver the biggest moment of his career so far. Runners on second, third, 2 away. The Braves lead by 2. Fastball swung on and missed. Sit down, baby. Matzik comes in and absolutely yaks the whole side.
Because we've been playing it fundamentally the same way for so long, the way that we can find the benchmarks that cross generations and cross decades is to be able to use these statistics as if they were labels. They aren't numbers. 300 hitter is not a number. The 300 hitter is a tag that means something today, as it did in 1930, as it did in 1890. So the statistics become a means by which we can connect to the permanence. I can make that comparison with my father, who could have made it with his father.
1-1 your scores. Chris Sale goes back to work. First pitch. Slider off the edge. It's the right-handed bat of Lockridge. Brandon Lockridge, the left fielder tonight. It's a 1-0. Lockridge batting .211 on the year, the .543 OPS. The 1-0 swing lifts it into center field. Going back on the track, making the running catch is Michael the Hawk Harris. 75% of the world is covered by water, the rest by Michael. One away. He gave that one a ride. When you throw the slider as much as he does, Chris Sale, you get that thing hanging up a little bit, they can tattoo it because some of them will just sit on that pitch. First pitch on the way is a slider off the edge, 80 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Fernando Tatis, the batter. The 1-0. Sale turns and delivers. Swing. That ball's ripped towards left field. Going back on the track. Making the catch. Backpedaling. Alex Verdugo, 2 away. Just jammed him enough where that ball didn't carry, but he was sitting dead red. Remember when we saw Tatis in that first series, he was absolutely scorching hot. We couldn't get him out. Two down, and the first pitch on the way to Arias is a sinker right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Arias did the smart thing and took that first strike. You could see him straighten up right before that pitch was thrown. With 2 quick outs, he was wanting to at least see one pitch. The 0-1 off the plate, 1-1. That's a veteran batter doing what you're supposed to do. 1-1 count. Lefty, lefty. The pitch. Slider, swing. Soft line drive into the mitt of Ozzie Albies, and that'll end the inning. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of 3. Some guy by the name of Acuña is coming to the plate. We'll see if he's any good.
Hey, this isn't my coffee. Where's my finely ground Acuña blend from Starbucks?
That's it. Daphne put an eggshell and some allspice in it.
Didn't that just dress it up? Let us get something clear. I am not a morning person. I have to ease into my day slowly. First, I have my coffee. Sans eggshells or anything else one tends to pick out of the garbage.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
If there's anything I could change about the league to make it better, probably just all the guys sitting resting. That's the only thing I probably don't like. Just play, man. If you 80%, you got to play. I don't like all the sitting, missing games and stuff. Like these people might have enough money to come to one game. You know what I'm saying? And that might be the game they come to, and then you sitting out. You know what I'm saying? So I take pride in trying to play every game because I don't know. It might be one fan that has never seen me play, and I'm trying to play. So that's the only thing I don't like. Guys just sitting out.
Armchair.
Who is on first?
What are you asking me for? I don't know.
When the University of Illinois played Northwestern, Illinois rooters fired blanks into the air. Much more convenient than yelling, the campus paper said, and has a better effect on the visiting team. And when the Princeton Tigers beat Yale, their fans roared right onto the field.
Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Ronald Acuña Jr. digs in. First pitch on the way. Fastball. Misses high, 92 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. If you're just joining us, Acuña, a solo home run. First pitch he saw in the first inning. Making a 1-0 game at the time. The 1-0. Swing. Roasted through the middle, and that's through for a base hit. It's a worm burner in between the 4-6 hole. And Ronald Acuña Jr. has his second hit of the game.
Vamos!
Bravo. Bravo.
So a leadoff single. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley was a cutter off the edge. It's 0-1. That's the pitch they struck Riley out with the first time up. He's 0 for 1 with that strikeout. The 0-1. Whoa, hey, high. Four-seam fastball. Little chin music. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch, swing, pops it back foul. It's 1-2. The 0-2. Kicks and fires. 94 up top. Tried to get him to chase. Pretty good pitch by Pivetta. Pivetta faced the Braves on March 30th. He went 7 innings of one-hit ball. Shut the Braves out, struck out 4. The 2-2, down and away, ball 3, 3-2. Full count. Acuña at first. He's leaning a little bit. The pitch. Outside wide, ball 4. Acuña took off. But that'll be ball 4, and we've got runners on first and second with nobody out, and Matt Olson coming to the plate. Good take by Riley. Wasn't a great jump by Acuña. But with that throw, had it been in the zone, Riley's probably pounding it towards right. Matt Olson, your batter. Righty-lefty. First pitch. Tried to get him to chase that curveball off the edge. It's 0-1. Infield is back and to the right. The Padres shortstop is as far over as you can be without being illegal. The 1-0. Curveball. Off the edge again. It's 2-0. Manny Machado's playing basically a shallow short. He's all by his lonesome. He's got to cheat a little bit towards third in case Acuña decides to take off. So the 2-0 count. If Acuña takes off for third, there's going to be an enormous gap over there on the left side. Doesn't have a good lead over there, the 2-0. Floats another curveball, 2-1. He's really believing the Braves can't hit this curveball tonight. He has thrown, to my count, that's his 10th curveball of the evening. In 38 pitches, that's a high number. The 2-1 pitch, another curveball, 2-2. He typically throws it 18% of the time. He's got a 6-pitch mix of the 4-seam, the sweeper, the curve, cutter, sinker, slider. The cutter, sinker, slider, he only uses about a total of 12% of the time. The 2-2. Swinging and a miss, strike 3, curveball. He saw nothing but curveballs and could not hit. Wow. He does not believe in the Braves' ability to hit a curveball, that's for sure. That is something right there. 5 pitches and all curveballs on the outer edge. So 2 on, 1 out. Marcell Ozuna digging in. First pitch on the way. 95 sinker down below the knees. It's 1-0. He throws the 4-seam coming into this game 52% of the time. The sweeper 19 and the curve 18. 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. And if you're asking yourself what's the difference between the sweeper and the curve is more of a 12-6. His sweeper is more of like a 2-8 type break. The 2-0 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Pops it back, foul, cutter. 2-1. Braves 1. Friars 1. Bottom of the third. 2 solo shots have been the scoring for both teams. The 2-1 pitch. Up top. Just misses curveball. 3-1. Gavin Sheets with the solo home run for the Braves. Acuña, solo shot for the Braves. Sheets, a solo shot for the Padres. I think I might have said Braves the first time. The 3-1. Takes another curveball, 3-2. He is really peppering the zone with that curveball. He's saying, come on and hit it. I don't think you can. Full count. See if Acuña might be on the go. He was on the last full count he saw. Pivetta stands in. Payoff pitch. Swing, fouls it back. Acuña stayed. Pivetta, by the way, he's at 46 pitch, not terribly high if he has a quick exit in this inning. But a fairly long inning here in the second. In the first. The payoff pitch. Caught looking, strike 3. I don't know how many times we have seen him take a fastball down the pipe with 2 strikes in the last month. I mean, it is insane. And he's not really struggling what you would consider, but when he gets struck out, it seems like he's obviously just guessing. I mean, that was right down Main Street. That's one that Ozuna should be able to plant into the seats or at least split the gap. Verdugo, the batter, first pitch on the way. Curveball down and away. It's 1-0. Alex Verdugo singled his first time up off of a fastball, so we'll see if he dials up that curveball more. It's what he's been leaning on in this inning. See if Verdugo can time it up. The 1-0 to Alex. Hanging curveball off the edge. 2-0. Count. Pivetta steps off the mound, and Diaz is going to go out there and talk to him. Pivetta's noticeably sweating quite a bit. It's not that hot here in Atlanta, but the humidity compared to what he's used to out west, I'm sure is a bit of an adjustment. 2 on, 2 out. A 2-0 count. Verdugo standing at the plate. On deck is Smurf. Diaz back behind, ready for the delivery. Here's the pitch. Curveball up top. 3 curveballs in a row. It's 2-1. I mean, at some point, somebody's got to hammer that curveball. He's throwing that as much as like an old knuckleball pitcher would a knuckler, just saying, hit it if you can. The 2-1. Another curveball. Chops it foul. 2-2. Pivetta daring the batters, every batter in this inning, to go at that curveball. Deuce is wild. 2 on, 2 out. The 2-2. He throws the deuce, and it gets dragged down the right field line, first base. We'll do it again, 2-2. Verdugo batting .320 this year with runners in scoring position, 9 RBI and 3 doubles. Pivetta in this inning has thrown 25. This will be his 26th pitch. The 2-2. Fastball. Pops it up down the left field line. Will it stay in play? It will, and that'll end the inning. Braves go quietly after they put a couple on. Can't do anything with it. They can't hit the curveball, evidently. We'll be back in a flash.
Are you okay, pal?
I had a rough day on the job.
Are you going home now?
I was about to.
Well then, you just fulfilled the first rule of law enforcement. Make sure when your shift is over, you go home alive.
Well, there's been so much going on. We have so much to talk about tonight, so let's just get right to it. Alrighty.
I'm not going to whitewash it. I let my church down, and I let my family down.
And didn't we let something else down, like our trousers?
Armchair.
I was talking to one of my husband's friends, and he was telling me about how he went and got his son a game system and some games or whatnot so he could take it over to his mother's house, and so they could play games and stuff while he's not at his house. So anyway, he messaged him the other day and said, "Hey son, you want to play Call of Duty?" So the son messaged him back and said, "Mom took my game system away." So of course he goes and texts the ex, and he said, "Why'd you take my son's game system away? What happened?" And she said, he won't let his brothers play with him, so I took it away. And he messaged her back and said, "I bought that game system. That's his game system. He don't have to share. Give it back to him." And she said, "Well, in this house we do share." So she said he said that he texted back and said, "Oh, well, that's crazy because you got 4 kids in the house that don't share the same daddy, so give it back."
The best of us keep as much of that childhood with us as we grow into adulthood as we can muster. And the most creative, the most happy, the most fortunate of us are those who don't lose the sense of play. And even after we're past the point of being able to actually play the game with any skill, if we love it, then it's like Peter Pan. We remain boys forever. We don't die.
Top of the 4th we go. Braves 1, Padres 1. First pitch on the way from Chris Sale to Manny Machado. There's a 4-seam fastball right there on the edge. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup. The 0-1. Whoa! Inside. 1-1. One count. Slider banged on the ground over to second. Ozzie has it. He'll flip it over to first. 4-3 on your scorecard. 1 away. One down. First pitch on the way to the left-handed bat. Jackson Merrill is right there for a strike. 0-1. Lefty. The 0-1. Turns and kicks. 93 off the plate, 1-1. Same two teams back at it tomorrow, 4:10 first pitch. So an early start, as Dodgers-Mets are the game of the night tomorrow night. The 1-1 chops it over towards just past the mound. Sale has it. He'll turn, fires a laser to first. Great play by Chris Sale. 2 down. I think your screen has gotten a touch behind, so we'll go ahead and change that up for a second. Great job by Chris Sale. That ball gets a little further past him. It's going to be in no man's land with Austin Riley, who had a long way to go to get there. First pitch on the way is a slider, misses. 1-0. Xander Bogaerts, who grounded out his first time up, stands in with 3 home runs, 20 RBI, the 1-0. Slider slides in and smacks the inner part of the zone, 1-1. 1-1 count. Sale brings it way inside, slider, 2-1. The 2-1 to Bogart. Comes set. Turns and fires. Swing. That ball's laced right to Ozzie Albies. An L4 in your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. Murphy leads us off when we return.
This is a fun fact for you. A leopard can drag another animal twice its weight up a tree. And then a cougar can drag a person half their age into a bed.
Are you in a relationship with a woman and you're tired of all that hooting and hollering? Well, here are surefire ways passed down from generation to generation of men on how to calm those ladies down. Number 3, just tell her to calm down. Sometimes women get all caught up in their womaning and forget the basic rules of polite discourse. A gentle reminder to calm down should simmer the situation. Remind her to relax. This helps the ladies who understand their level of energy is inappropriate but aren't quite sure what the next step to take. And number 1, only to be used in extreme cases. You're acting like your mother, and this world doesn't need 2 bitches that crazy walking around. Just use these simple methods, and you'll never have an out-of-hand lady again.
I ran into one of my dumbass friends yesterday at the store, and we was just talking, and he looked at me and he goes, you know, I'm smart. Not only am I smart, but I'm street smart. And I was like, you know what, buddy, you are. You're Sesame Street smart.
The most popular and most notorious star of the 19th century was Michael Joseph King Kelly, the sure-handed catcher for the Chicago White Stockings. He was so skilled at stealing bases, he once stole 6 in a single game, that he inspired a popular song, Slide, Kelly, Slide. He sometimes cut across the diamond, skipping second altogether when the umpire was not looking. Kelly drank as hard as he competed. Once, A.G. Spaulding put Pinkerton detectives on his trail and accused him of having been in a saloon at 3 a.m. drinking lemonade. Kelly was indignant. It was straight whiskey, he said. I never drank a lemonade at that hour in my life.
Welcome back. Ronald Acuña Jr. Day is the Braves all tied up at 1. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Sean Murphy, your batter. First pitch on the way. Did he chase that sweeper? He did not this time. They check down the first baseline. It's 1-0. Murphy flew out his first time up. 1-0. Cutter misses off the edge. 2-0. 2-0 count. Murphy batting .229 on the year, 8 home runs, 18 RBI. The pitch, right there, 92. Right there off the edge, it's 2-1. 2-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it foul. Braves 1, Padres 1. Bottom of the fourth. A 2-2 count. Pitch on the way to Smurf. Just misses. Good take by Sean. Full count. Full count. Swing! Rifles it foul. Four-seam fastball down the line. We'll do it again. Standing on deck is Ozzie Albies. In the hole, Michael Harris. A full count. Just below the knees. Caught looking, strike 3. Man, what a delayed call was that by Adam Beck. It's almost like he's trying to be the show. Pitch was below the knees. Murph was walking halfway up the first base line before he ever calls it. And it was definitely low. So not only a bad call by Adam Beck, but a terrible job of calling it, because you got to call it quicker than that. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. That is a jackass that wants to be the main focus of the game. He doesn't realize that he is not there for everyone to watch. It's the players. The 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Never noticed that before about Adam Beck, but that's the second time he's done that today. Oh-2 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Ozzie digs in the pitch. Curveball in the dirt, 1-2. The 1-2. Open stance from the left side. Here's the pitch. Swing! That ball slapped over towards second. He's going to have to wait for Arias to get over there. He does. 4-3 put out. 2 down. Two away. That'll bring Harris to the plate. First pitch to Harris is a teardrop below the knees. Another curveball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Kicks and fires. Hanging. Swinging. Slaps that curveball into center field, and Michael Harris gets on with a 2-out single. Let's see if anything can come from that. Another hanging curveball. This time one of the Braves are actually able to hit it. So Harris stands at first, and with all those curveballs, you wonder if he may take off. Nick Allen standing at the plate. Nick Allen, righty-righty, first pitch. Fastball up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Leaning towards first. Here's the pitch. Swing, chops it foul. It's 0-2. Allen lined out his first time up. Soft line drive into the outfield. Now sitting at 0-2. He's batting .256 on the year. Ronald Acuña Jr. stands on deck. If you're Harris here, yep, he goes. The 0-2. Pitches outside wide. Harris is up the line, and he is safe. Second baseman was not able to hold on to the ball as Harris went flying by. He holds on to that. He being Iglesias, they probably have Harris on the back leg. See that play again. Yeah, if he holds on to that, he's going to be out. He tagged him on the back part of the wallet, and just could not hold on to the ball. So a 1-2 to Allen. The pitch, swing, lifts it into center field. Lazy fly ball with warning track power. That'll end the inning. And the Braves squander another opportunity with runners in scoring position. We head to 5, tied at 1.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. Buttered sausage.
That's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
As you know, Monty, Vaughn's been working on a couple of new pitches, the Eliminator and the Humiliator, to complement his fastball, the Terminator. I heard that. Dynamite drop-in, Monty. That broadcast school has really paid off.
We got a tie. We need to fix it. We need a tiebreaker.
I agree. Ties are not acceptable in fantasy football. Fantasy football is about proving that you are better than your friends, not equally as good as your friends, okay? It's not communism. We're not coveting Billy Joel cassette tapes and wearing ill-fitting blue jeans.
This helpful instructional message from the National Association of People Who Have Trouble Walking and Chewing Gum at the Same Time. Step, chew. Step, chew.
If I could change anything about basketball, it'd be to get rid of the X Games.
Armchair.
What do you guys want?
Let me get a fratte motete. And then let me get a Trenta pinkity drinkity.
Drinkity pinkity dinky and a fratte mate. What the hell? A fratte mate and a frinkity pinkity. Fratte mate.
Latte mate. I don't think we got one of those.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My first time.
Mayhem seemed to follow John McGraw wherever he went. When he got into a fist fight with the opposing third baseman in Boston in 1894, both benches empty. Fans began brawling. Someone set the stands on fire, and the entire wooden ballpark and 170 neighborhood buildings went up in flames.
First pitch from Chris Sale, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to Sheets, who took him deep his first time up. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup, the 0-1. Swing, fouls it. Back out of play, 0-2. If you're just joining us, that pitch that he hit yard wasn't a bad pitch. It was on the inner part of the plate, just inside. And Sheets was able to get the bat around and drive it to center field over the wall. It's a pretty impressive swing, to be honest with you. The 0-2. Did he go around? He did. Strike 3. Got him. One away. One down here in the 5th. Chris Sale just at 2 strikeouts. That's a shocker. Just at 52 pitches, so maybe he can go fairly deep in this game. Iglesias, the batter. First pitch on the way is a slider, about belt high over the dish. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing. Drills it into the Padres dugout, third base side. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Lefty, righty. Slider off the edge, 1-2. The pitch from Sale. Swings, slaps it down the first base side. That ball is going to get down towards the corner. Acuña grabs it, fires it to second, and he'll keep that to once again on just a long single. Good hustle and a great arm by Acuña down there in right field. Second time he's done that tonight. His speed cuts that off. And Iglesias, he turns and hits he hits the turn and starts looking towards second base. Realizes he has no chance of getting down there to second. First pitch on the way to Diaz. He's 0 for 1. He's up top, first strike. 0-1. Fouled out his first time up. The 0-1. 95 up top, 1-1. 1-1 count. Ronald Acuña Jr., if you're just joining us, led the game off with a home run. His first pitch he sees, and he drilled it 400. The 1-1 is chopped back foul. 1-2. 467 feet. And it was a rocket. It left in a hurry. One-two count. Runner at first. With the catcher, you got the double play possibility. They are playing back into the left, but in double play depth. The 1-2 from Sale. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. 2 away. Third strikeout of the night by Sale. That'll bring the number 9 hitter, Lockridge, to the plate. You like to clear the deck here with Lockridge with Tatis. See him in the 6th inning. Iglesias. Not really known as a stolen base threat, but he does have decent speed. First pitch on the way is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Lockridge flew out his first time up, batting .207 with 4 RBI, a .534 OPS. Lefty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch from Sale, the 0-1. 95 high and out of the zone. 1-1. One count. Higgs and fires, fouls it back. It's 1-2. Braves 1, Padres 1. 1-2 count. Pitch on the way from Sale. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So as Chris Sale picks up the pace a little bit, he strikes out the side. Gives up the hit, but strikes out the side. He's got 4. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
If you don't have cable, you're going to be forced to like read or something, man. You're going to get cable fast.
Yeah. I mean, it's been rough.
What city did you just move to, Wilbanks?
Houston.
With somebody listening, if anybody's in Houston, please call in. We need to get Wilbanks some cable so he can watch the game tomorrow. Let's start the man a party.
Or at least do the man a solid and leave your windows open so that he can peek in at the Super Bowl.
The strange guy outside your house watching the game, he's with us. Don't worry.
Armchair.
How much does a wedding ring have to cost? Baby, it could be $50. It really doesn't matter. I just want to be in love. I want to be genuine. I want a happy, healthy marriage. So the ring, I mean, what the cost of the ring, it really doesn't mean anything because it's not like I'm going to go sell it. But the ring is just a symbol of my commitment to my man. So however much he can really afford, whatever he feels like he wants to give me, I think that's better than, listen, these hoes have 3 kids but no marriage. So I'd rather the ring and my man than the cost of it. That don't matter to me.
So, like, he could give you a ring pop and you would...
Baby, take me to the courthouse with that ring pop. Thank you. Hello.
In 1878, more than 8 million bats were sold in the United States, and players often rode to the ball field in painted carriages, singing team songs. Men who were crazy about baseball were called bugs and cranks. Women who shared their excitement were cranklets. Later, they would be called fans, short either for baseball fanciers or fanatics.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Ronald Acuña Jr., who's 2 for 2 with a home run and a single, stands in. First pitch on the way. Hanging sweeper. High and out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it over towards short. That's going to be, kind of juggle it for a second. That's going to be close. They're going to call him out on the 6-3 putout. He juggled it for a second, and Acuña made it very close. Weiss is checking upstairs, and they are not going to challenge it. Got him by about a quarter step by my calculations. Less than that, actually. I mean, maybe an eighth of a step. Man, was that close. Austin Riley digs in. First pitch on the way is just off the edge for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Sweeper down and in. 2-0. 2-0 count. Brings it just off the plate. Ball 3-0. Riley 0 for 1, but he did walk in the third inning. Batting .275 on the year. The 3-0. Misses high, ball 4. So he'll head down to first. Second walk of the game by the Ray. Matt Olson will come to the plate with 1 out. Righty-lefty matchup. Infield back and to the right. Double play depth, first pitch. 92 misses, 1-0. Pivetta, 77 pitches now. A little north of where he'd want to be, but not too terribly bad. If he gets a double play, he'd be right there on schedule. 1-0. Curveball, misses well below the knees, 2-0. Two-0 count. Right there. 2-1. Good cutter right there at the knees. Two-one count. Up top, curveball, another hanger, 2-2. He is just daring anybody to swing at those hanging cement mixers that he's throwing up there. 2-2. Swing, hits it hard on the ground over towards second. Arias is going to flip it to first. He had to go deep in the hole to get that. On the play, Riley goes up to second base and into scoring position. Smart play by the second baseman. I said Arias. That was Iglesias to Arias, is what I meant to say. Iglesias had no real shot of getting Riley down to second base, so he made the smart play, got the easy out. So you got 2 down. We do have a runner in scoring position with decent speed in Riley. And that'll bring Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna was caught looking his last time up. Padres pitching coach is heading out there. Ruben Nieble out there to talk to Pivetta. Pivetta's sitting at 81 pitches. While he does that, we'll go ahead and hit the out-of-town scoreboard. In the 5th inning, it's 5-2 Cincinnati. They're at home against the Cubs, excuse me. Pirates 2-1 against the Brewers, Paul Skeen's night for Pittsburgh. Giants 2-0 over the Nationals in the 7th. Nationals are threatening. Blue Jays and Rays, it's 3-0 Tampa in the 5th. Guardians over the Tigers 2-0 in the 6th. Dodgers and Mets are in a rain delay. They are in the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd, with the Dodgers batting with 2 outs and 2 on, but they are in a rain delay. Rangers and White Sox, Chi-Town, 1-0 over Texas in the 3rd. Royals and Twins, it's 1-0 KC in the 2nd. Mariners, Astros scoreless in the 2nd, as are the Diamondbacks and Cardinals. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is a sweeper up top. For a strike, it's 0-1. Later on tonight, you got the Yankees at the Rockies, Marlins at the Angels, and the Phillies are at the Athletics. Hopefully they can put an end to that 7-game winning streak. Earlier today, by the way, first game of the doubleheader, Red Sox pounded the Orioles as the 0-1. Off the plate, 1-1. 19-5 in the first game. And tonight's game, I guess, was postponed. Some more bad weather up there. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. It hit the zone, but it was not called for a strike. 2-1. Adam Beck, who's wanted to be the show all night long. If you're going to be the show, you're going to be who everyone here to watch. You ought to be good at your job. The 2-1 count. Swing, chops it foul, 2-2. So Ozuna with 2 strikes now. Got to be careful not to take that called 3rd strike like he has been here recently. Protect that plate with a runner at second. A dribble or anything that gets to the outfield and down would score Riley. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Could not catch up with that cutter, and that'll end the inning. Braves put one on, but can't do a thing with it. Top of the order for the Padres is due up when we return.
I think we should use the manual.
I don't need a manual. I need a pair of wire strippers, a hammer, and a beer.
Remember those sweet, warm New England summers? Remember sipping lemonade underneath a shady tree? Remember when you hit that pedestrian with your car at the crosswalk and then just drove away? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Maybe I'm the problem. Nah, that doesn't even sound right. Stay woke in these streets.
This girl is checking me out.
No, she's not.
Oh, she's definitely smiling.
Wow, she's cute.
Right.
And smiling at the guy who just walked in.
Maybe it's her brother.
They're the same height. That is a long hug.
Maybe their father died. I mean...
Why would they be smiling?
Because they inherited money.
Okay.
How lucky am I?
Oh.
Why would they kiss?
Maybe he's trying to make you jealous.
Well, it is working.
Okay.
Now they're leaving together. What's that?
She's sending mixed signals. I'll give you that.
I cannot be with people who play games like this.
Very childish.
Dad, guess which is it? Is it NBA or NFL? 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit. 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits. And how many of you think NBA? How many of you think NFL? Well, the answer is neither. It's the 435 members of the United States Congress.
John McGraw would stay in baseball for more than 40 years and become one of the game's greatest managers. But he never stopped fighting, never stopped savaging umpires, and was always willing to do just about anything to win.
Braves Country HD. Chris Sale back to work. First pitch on the way. Slider off the edge. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Slider right there on the outer edge. 1-1. Braves tied it 1 with the Padres. It's here in the top of the 6th. 1-1. Swing rips it down the left field line. That is going to be extra bases. Verdugo turns and fires it to second, but easily in with a leadoff double is Fernando Tatis, representing the go-ahead run. Verdugo got it before it hit the wall in the corner, but not the strongest arm in the world, which is why he's in left, and took him a while to get there the way they had him played. So 1 on, nobody out, and Arias the batter. First pitch on the way to Arias, drag bunt, easy 3-1 put out. Olsen to Sale, but on the play, Tatis moves down to third. And that'll probably force the Braves to either intentionally walk Machado or bring the infield in. The tie game in the 6th, the Braves offense struggling once again. I can't imagine they're going to play back and give him the run. So Sale will be looking for a strikeout or a pop out, anything to get out of this. Machado 1 for 2 with the single in the first. He rifled it down the right field line. The infield is in. First pitch. Swing and a miss. 98 miles an hour right up there in his kitchen. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty righty. Sale brings it. Slider. Down and away. 1-1. 1-1 count. Hasn't been super sharp with that slider, but not as bad as it has been in some instances we've seen this year. The 1-1 is chopped off the plate. It's 1-2. There were times last year where you felt like Sale could just spot that slider anytime, anywhere. He's definitely looked better the last few starts. Say handful of starts. He's not quite at that 2024 level that we saw him. 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing, chops it foul. Slider out in front. We'll do it again. The infield is in, but it is to the left. So anything that gets chopped over to the right side will most likely be a run, unless it's right at Matt Olson. You got very good speed down there at third base. 1-2. Swing. Dribbles it to third. Riley's got it. He comes home. He got him. Great grab and throw by Riley. The play was taking him out of bounds into foul territory, and he had to throw around the shoulder of Tatis. And it was a perfect bullet to Smurf, and Smurf was waiting on him. The good block of the plate. I still don't know why these guys just don't dive towards them and make sure they get them before they ever touch the plate. Machado is at first base, It'll be a fielder's choice. That'll bring Jackson Merrill to the plate. Lefty. First pitch on the way to Merrill. Swing and a miss. Slider on the inner cut. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Sale comes set. Flips it over to first real quick. Make sure Machado's being honest over there. Oh, 1 count. The pitch on the way. Slider off the plate. 1-1. Chris Sale sitting at 4 strikeouts for the day. I believe his over-under was 6.5 out in the desert. Could still get there, but it's not likely. The 1-1 from Sale. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Sitting at 76 pitches in the 6th. You figure as long as he's able to get out of this unscathed, he'll be back out there for the 7th. The 8th would be a huge stretch. Unless, of course, the 7th is extremely quick. The 1-2 count. 1-1 your score. Top 6, 2 outs. Machado at first. Here's the pitch. Tried to get him to chase the slider. That was well out of the run, and they got him. Machado tried to take off and steal second. Believe that was a delayed steal. I'm going to watch the replay real quick on my other screen. They threw him out down at second. They're checking to see if they want to challenge it. Machado wants them to challenge it. Schilt is waiting for the go-ahead, and they said no, that'll end the inning. It was a delayed steal, and he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
You come at the king, you best not miss.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
Nobody's got anything bad to say about Dustin Pedroia. Okay, if he had mentioned Dustin Pedroia, I wouldn't have said a word, but the fact that he mentioned Big Papi in the steroid era, when you want to bring that clown, that joke of a player up, they broke a great player. Ted Williams was one of the greatest players ever. And the fact that you would bring the fact up that he broke his record after he's pumping steroids in his behind, I don't want to hear about it. You could have picked 10 better Red Sox than Big Papi.
I like him. I'm a Red Sox fan.
Of course you like him. You like the Gators. You like Aerosmith. There's a lot of things you like that the rest of the world don't. I don't know much, but I know one thing. Billy Bills gets to show game ball today.
Armchair.
You're not sick tonight, are you? Good. Your tongue's going to be hanging out. Tell him to throw up on his own time.
You think about it. What is there in your life, besides your love of family maybe, that carries all the way through, from almost your earliest recollections till the day you die, and you care about it in one way or another? There are very, very few things that make that list. We come to things at various times in our lives when we can comprehend them, when we have an interest in them. But we have a child's interest in baseball, in my case from the time I was 5. I can't imagine never having an interest in baseball. So it will be one of the few things in my life that I have cared about in one way or another all the way through.
Braves Country Radio, pull up a chair. Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. We're talking about the best Padre in the history. It was Ted Williams, but there's an asterisk there. He was a Padre when the San Diego Padres were a minor league team. Being from San Diego, California is where he got his start. First pitch on the way to Alex Verdugo is a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Hanging curveball up top, 1-1. Verdugo 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Braves, Padres 1-1. Bottom of the 6th. The 1-1. Outside wide, 2-1. I think one of my favorite stories I ever heard was Tony Gwynn talking about talking to Ted Williams about hitting and trying to argue with Ted Williams about, is the 2-1 swing. That ball's lifted high and deep, going back on the track and caught at the wall. Warning track power once again for Alex Verdugo. He got a hanging curveball, but didn't have quite enough pop to get it over the wall. He might want to talk to Jerks and Profar or Alvarado. Get a little PEDs going there. If he was ever going to hit one out to dead center, that was it. I mean, that was another cement mixer. He's thrown them all night, and the Braves have not contacted with it. First pitch to Murphy. Swings at the cutter off the plate. Just gets a piece of it. Bangs it back foul to 0-1. And Tony Gwynn is telling the story of him talking to Ted Williams about hitting, and how Ted Williams told him that the key to hitting is hitting the inside fastball for a home run. Is the 0-1. Pops it up over the first base dugout. It'll bang off the top of the dugout and into the crowd. And Tony Gwynn was arguing with him about how, man, I don't have that kind of power. I can't worry about the inside fastball for a home run because I don't have that kind of power. Well, lo and behold, that next season, Tony Gwynn starts smoking the ball over on the inside fastball, hitting home runs and opening up his entire game. And he goes running over to Ted Williams next time he sees him. He's about to tell Ted that he's right. As the 0-1 or the 0-2 misses high, it's 1-2. And Ted looks at Tony and says, he says, I told you. And that's lesson number one. The 1-2 swing, pops it up, sweeper back behind home plate. Because his argument was that he didn't have the kind of game that Ted Williams was. And Ted Williams' argument was, it doesn't matter what kind of hitter you are. If they can't throw that inside fastball to you, it opens up the fact that now they've got to go elsewhere, and you can eliminate that. 1-2 count. Pitch, swing, slices it back. We'll do it again. Pivetta, by the way, he's at 95 pitches. So this will most likely be his last inning. The 1-2. Inside 2-2. Two count. Smurf trying to get on base for the first time tonight. Pitch, swing and a miss, blew it right by him. Strike 3. So 2 down, and Pivetta at 97 pitches. That'll bring Ozzie Albies to the plate. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is up top, curveball. It's 1-0. There's a lefty warming up in the bullpen. Pitch to Ozzie. Swing, chops it foul, 1-1. Ozzie 0 for 2 with the strikeout and the ground out. Harris standing on deck. That lefty might come in to face Harris no matter when it is. The 1-1. Hanging curveball, pops it back foul. 1-2. If they don't go to him in this inning, let's say Pivetta gets out of this, they may change that entire strategy, because after that, after Michael, you got 3 righties of Allen to Acuña to Riley. So probably wouldn't go to the lefty except to get out of a jam in this inning. 1-2 count. Swing, chops it down the first base side. Foul. That was Pavetta's 101st pitch. One-two count. Brings it. Swing, pops it up. Another 0 for Ozzie. Fly ball into the mitt of Tatis as he waits for it, and that'll end the inning. Lazy fly ball, 1, 2, 3. We go in order. We head to the 7th, 1-1.
Guys, is your wife one of them women that can take a simple text and make you an evil person out of it? She texted me today, and she was like, hey, for our birthday week this summer, I rented a cabin up in the mountains. And I read that, and I was like, oh, you know, that's awful sweet, her. You know, I was busy, I was working, I just texted her back, and I said, okay, sounds good. Well, as soon as I stuck my phone down in my pants pocket, bing, it hit again. I look at it, and it says they got a pavilion up there. They play music out on Saturday night. We might want to go to that. So I just texted her back, okay, sounds good. Pow, stick that phone back in the pocket. As soon as it hits the bottom of my pocket, bing, get it out, and I look at it, and it says you don't have to dress up. We can dress up if you want to. I'm going to leave that up to you. What do you think? Whatever you want to do, babe, be just fine with me. Sounds good. Bam, put my phone back in my pocket. About a minute goes by. It goes off. I get it out, look at it, and it says, well, if you don't want to go, you just tell me, and I'll cancel it.
The winning run of Ozzie Albies. He got a pretty good jump. Flew under the tag in Atlanta. A single could win this game. Austin Riley stands at the plate. Here's the swung on, and it is roped down the line. It's going to rattle around, and oh, baby boy, here comes Ozzie Albies. He's going to score. The Braves walk it off in fine fashion. Oh, my word, the first pitch, and it is absolutely scooping it down the line.
That's so interesting that it would come out 90 feet. That somebody sat down, Mr. Cartwright or whoever, and said, hey, it ought to be 90 feet. It just sounded like a logical number. The fact of the matter is, in retrospect, if it were 88 feet, the game would be very different. Think of the plays at first base. Think of the double plays that wouldn't be completed. If it were 94 feet, we'd be throwing people out all over the place. Batting averages would drop remarkably.
Chris Sale goes back to work. Top of the 7th we go. First pitch on the way to Sale, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty lefty-lefty matchup, excuse me. Jackson Merrill, the batter, the cleanup hitter. The 0-1. Turns and fires. 96 up top, 0-2. 0-2 count. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. One away. Good pitch by Sale. You count last inning. Took him, almost 9 pitches right there to get that strikeout? He had 2 strikes on Merrill when Machado was thrown out on a delayed steal to second. Sale now with 5 strikeouts. Sitting at 80 pitches. First pitch on the way is a slider off the edge to Bogarts. It's 1-0. 1-0. Brings it. Slider well off the edge. 2-0. Y'all talking about Tony Gwynn. He ranked 17th all time in Major League Baseball batting averages. So not too shabby. Think of all the guys that have played this game. The 2-0. Inside 3-0. 3-0 count. Sale comes set, brings it just inside ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to Bogarts. Sale, that was his 84th pitch. You wouldn't think he'd be running out of steam, but you never know. Guys listed above Tony Gwynn in all-time batting average: Jesse Burkett, Nap LaHoy, Lou Gehrig, George Sisler. The first pitch on the way is a slider, called for a strike. Beck said that Sheets went around. It's 0-1. Wee Willie Keeler, who had the long hitting streak, finished at a 341 clip. Peter Browning jumps into the top 10, tied with Keeler. Is the 0-1 swing and a miss? It's 0-2. Harry Hellman batted 342 lifetime, tied with some guy by the name of Babe Ruth. And then it's Billy Hamilton, Ted Williams is right there at number 6. Tris Speaker, Ed Delaney, Shoeless Joe Jackson, put him in the Hall of Fame, and Roger Hornsby with Ty Cobb leading the list. The 0-2 throw down. Did they get him? They're going to say that he was safe. Bogarts calls for time. And I guess they're saying that the batter held up. It looked like he went around. Kranitz is convinced that he came off the plate. Came off the bag, excuse me. See what happened here. I don't see it. But maybe he thinks he got him in the leg. I'm getting a bad view right here. It's possible. They're using the overhead view from about 30,000 feet. It's hard to figure that one out. No, they did call that a strike. Okay, that was straightened up. So 2 down. They'd originally put that as a ball, and the home plate umpire had to tell the batter, Sheets, that he did call that a strike. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty righty. Sale at 88 pitches. Pitch on the way. 97 up top. 1-1. 1-1 count. There were 2 really good brawls, Neil, with the Braves and Padres that day. The 1-1, down and in. Looked like he went around, did he? He did not. First base umpire Dan Iasona says that Iglesias held up. Iglesias, 1 for 2 with a single in the 5th. Raises batting average to 245. Two-1 count. Swing, chops it foul. It's 2-2. The 2-2 count. Runner at second. That's the go-ahead runner. Sale comes set, his 92nd of the evening. Swing, pops it up. Down the first base line. It's going to bang off of the tarps down there in foul territory. Iglesias standing in on the 2-2. Standing on deck is Diaz, the number 8 hitter. The 2-2 from Sale. His 93rd of the evening, brings it. Swing, chops it foul. Chase that slider well out of the zone. Drags it into the third base dugout of the Padres. Remember, Padres are on a 6-game losing streak. They are really trying to win this game. I hated that we were facing a team that's backed in a corner like that. You want to catch them when they're flying high and not taking the game seriously. They're going all out, stealing bases, doing everything they can to bring home that win. The 2-2 to Iglesias. Just got a piece of it. We'll do it again. This at-bat's been a little long. This might be the last inning for Chris Sale. About to see his 8th pitch of the at-bat. Going into this at-bat, you could see him coming out for the 8th, but I don't know now. The 2-2. Sale comes set. They set up inside, spins. Chases Bogarts back to second without a throw. The 2-2 from Sale. Brings it. Swing, pops it up. Down the right field line, giving chases Acuña. He'll make the catch right before foul territory, and that'll end the inning. Get up and stretch, Braves country. We got a tie ball game on Ronald Acuña's return.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. A one, a two, a three. Me out to the ball game. Me out to the find me something of Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back on the street. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root. You sound better tonight!
Welcome back, Braves country. Hit the out-of-town scoreboard as we wait for them to come back from the stretch themselves. Reds 6-2 over the Cubs. That game is in the 7th now in Cincinnati. It's 3-3 Brewers and Pirates in Pittsburgh. Giants and Nationals 4-0 San Fran in the 9th. Blue Jays trail the Rays 3-1 there in the 7th. Tigers and Guardians. Cleveland leads it 2-1 in the 8th. Dodgers and Mets are still in a rain delay. They're in the 3rd. A scoreless affair. White Sox 3-0 over the Rangers in the bottom of the 5th. Royals and Twins 1-1 in the 4th. Mariners and Astros, Houston 2-1 in the 4th. The Diamondbacks lead the Cardinals 1-0 in the 4th inning in St. Louis, while the Yankees are taking a 1-0 lead in Colorado. Later on tonight, Marlins and Angels, Phillies and A's. Already in the books was game 1 of a doubleheader. Red Sox 19-5 over Baltimore. They have pushed back the game that was originally scheduled for tonight for a doubleheader tomorrow. So we'll see if we can get that one in. Left-hander Morion comes in. First pitch. Misses for a ball to Michael Harris. It's 1-0. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 1-0. Chases a fastball high and out of the zone. Slaps it back foul. It's 1-1. It's interesting they're going to the left-hander to start this inning. With Acuña due up 3rd. I guess they like the matchup. The 1-1. Chops it. Back to the mound. Easy 1-3 put out. One away. Michael Harris. 1 for 3 on the day. Nick Allen will step to the plate. He's batting .254. He's 0 for 2. The Braves have had 4 hits. 2 are by Acuña. 1 by Verdugo. 1 by Harris. Allen, first pitch. 100 miles an hour off the plate. It's 1-0. 1-0. Daysbel Hernandez is warming up in the bullpen. Kicks and fires. 98 up top, 1-1. One count. Pitch from Morion. Swing, fouls it back. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him. 98. Tad up top, but probably too close to take with 2 strikes. Now 2 away. That'll bring Acuña to the plate. 2 for 3 on the night with a solo shot and a single. We'll see if he can get on, get things going. First pitch on the way to Ronald is 98, high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Ronald Acuña. Digging in with all his yellow gear from the right side. The pitch, 98. Said he went around. He didn't, but that pitch was in the zone anyways. That was another bad call by Adam Beck. He is terrible. So when it's all said and done, it was a strike. It's not the way it came. I think that was Iasona making it right. The 1-1 inside for a strike. It's 1-2. One-two count. Inside. 2-2. Braves scored the first run on the first pitch of the game, and we haven't done a thing since. So much for thinking Acuña was going to fix this offense. It's more of the same. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll end the inning. 1, 2, 3. The Braves go in order once again. We go to the top of the 8th. Diaz, bottom of the order, due up.
House cat flu is coming, people. The Center for Disease Disinformation predicts with some degree of probability that the house cat flu might spread in the following hypothetical outbreak pattern: mild thirst, occasional hunger, tiredness at night.
Are you pro or con against the bat flip? Just overall celebration.
I'm right there in the middle. I'm not going to take either side. I'm more against it, I guess. But if a pitcher is going to be out there dancing and running his mouth, and you get a home run off him, I'm completely okay with a bat flip. Screw you, buddy.
Well, I for one want to get a Papelbon jersey because anyone that chokes out Bryce Harper, man. I am Team Papelbon.
Armchair.
I hear these fools on TV talking about defund the police and things like that. We need police reform and prison reform and things like that. So that notion they keep saying that, I'm like, wait a minute, we just gonna leave, who are people supposed to call? Ghostbusters when we have crime in our neighborhoods?
Hey Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
The local paper did a 50-year anniversary thing, and there was a reprint of a game that he had played in 1892, and it said Watts. His name was Fred Watts, shortstop, and he had 2 hits. And I thought, my grandfather played baseball in 1892. So it's part of your existence. It's part of our heritage.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball on Memorial Day weekend. We remember all the fallen soldiers, those that gave all. Daysbel Hernandez will come in for Sale. So another failed attempt for Sale to get a win. I mean, it's kind of getting ridiculous, his lack of run support. First pitch from Daysbel is off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 is fouled back out of play. 1-1. He'll be set to face Diaz, Lockridge, and then back to the top of the order. So much like the left-hander that came on for the Padres last inning, the 8, 9, and 1 batters. The 1-1 way outside wide, ball 2, 2-1. You know he's tends to be a little wild. The 2-1 swing, slaps it into right field. That's through for a base hit. It's going to get up against the wall. Here comes the throw from Acuña. He'll fire it into second, and that's out. He got him. What a hose by Ronald Acuña Jr. Wow. He gets it off the wall, fires a bullet about 3 feet off the bag, and now Nick Allen, an incredible tag, one away. Holy cow. We normally only do this when they bat and get a big play. How about Ronald Acuña Jr. doing it with his arm in his glove?
Bravo.
It was the catcher running, but I'm sure he was like, where in the heck did that come from? One down. That'll make way for the pinch hitter, Cronenworth. First pitch on the way is right there, strike on the inner edge. It's 0-1. Cronenworth in for Lockridge. See how they play that defensively in the next inning. The 0-1, 99 down and in, 1-1. One count. Swing, fouls it back. 1-2. I mean, he had one short hop and threw that bullet. And honestly, if it's to the actual base itself, he may not get him. But because he got it up the line a little bit, and Allen was able to make it a heck of a backhanded grab and stab, Braves got the first out of the inning in remarkable fashion. The 1-2 misses high and out of the zone. Ball 2, 2-2. Braves 1, Padres 1. 1 down here in the top of the 8th. The 2-2. Down and in. 3-2. Almost got him in the back leg. Full count. Down and in, ball 4. They checked down the line. He did not go around. C.B. Buckner with the call. So the go-ahead run stands at first. Daysbel Hernandez control issues continue, bringing Fernando Tatis to the plate. Tatis double to left his last time up. First pitch to Fernando, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Slow move over to first. Cronenworth back, betting it in plenty of time. That was his 13th walk in just 21 innings for Daysville. The 0-1. Down and away. 1-0. That's going up against just 15 strikeouts. I mean, honestly, he's not an 8th inning guy. He's kind of being shoehorned into that position. The 1-1 swing, pops it back foul, 1-2. He's had some good outings here and there, but when you consider 13 walks in 21 innings, that is horrific for a relief pitcher. But he has kept his ERA somehow down to 1.69. So go figure. The 1-2 misses high, 2-2. But eventually all those walks catch up with you. 2-2 count. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider chased it 2 away. See the question in the chat? Yes, Robert. 4:10 first pitch. Braves. Padres. Same thing on Sunday. Sunday we step aside for the Salute to Service cast, where we will have the game on the screen, but we'll be putting the Salute to Service show that we like to play on the 4th of July and on Memorial Day for y'all. First pitch on the way is a slider right there on the outer edge. It's 0-1. If you've never listened to it, it's a show that goes over all the great baseball players in history that have served our country. The 0-1, 99 off the plate, 1-1. 1-1 count. Arias is 0 for 2 with the sac bunt. Pitch on the way. They throw it down to first to see if they might catch Cronenworth leaning. He's back just in time. Pretty good throw by Smurf. He just casually turned, spin, and fired it down to first, and it was a bullet. Cronenworth. Sometimes you can catch those guys when they don't even have a big lead. It's because they can't really see what the catcher's doing. The 2-1. Hit on the ground over towards the hole in second. Ozzy's going to get there just in time and flip it to Olsen. That'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th in a 1-1 affair. I think we've heard this before. Low scoring, but it is the 8th. That's our inning. Let's get it, boys.
I gained and lost 60 pounds in 3 months.
Wow, that's almost impossible.
Well, first of all, through God, all things are possible, so jot that down.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Why aren't modern day mothers mothering like the mothers back in the day? Let's take Grandma's purse, for example. Grandma's purse was like a Swiss Army knife. It had all of your wants, needs, and desires for travel. Grandma had actual peppermints. She had Halls in her purse. She had water in her purse. She even had snacks in her bag. She also had her pop stick for when y'all acting up during service. Yeah, Grandma's purse was a place of refuge. Nowadays, y'all spend $10,000 on the purse and can't even fit a pack of gum in it.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of holding your dad's hand, walking through that dark tunnel, and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Austin Riley will lead us off. He's 0 for 1, but he does have 2 walks. First pitch on the way to Riley. It's a slider right there on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Morion back out there. Just 13 pitches to retire the side, or 12 pitches to retire the side in the 7th, so why not put him back out there to face Elisa Olsen? It's the 0-1, misses high, 1-1. Jason Hayward comes in for Cronenworth, who pinch hit for Lockridge. He's down in left field. The 1-1 to Riley. Swing, pops it up. Good Lord. That thing's going to bring rain. Finally, it comes down. Iglesias makes the catch. F4 in your scorecard. That went up the chute. One away. One down, and Matt Olson, the batter. Infield back into the right. So a huge hole down the left field line. He just taps one down there. It's going to be extra bases. First pitch on the way. Swing. Fouls it back. It's 0-1. Well behind that slider. The 0-1. Kingston fires. Chops it foul. It's 0-2. (0-2) count. Brings it. Slider down below the knees, 1-2. If you're wondering where the Padres rank in bullpens, in the National League they are ranked 4th, just in front of the Braves, who are ranked 5th in the National League. All in all, in baseball, is the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase it off the edge, quickly 2 down. Padres are 11th and the Braves are 12th. And yep, that is going to be it. They were just trying to get through Matt Olson. And Morion came in and cooked the Braves, went 5 batters, cooked them all. And they'll turn it over to the right-hander when we return. Marcell Ozuna standing at the plate. On this date, 1901, White Sox reliever Clark Griffith, the team's pitcher-manager, decides to walk Napoleon Lajoie, intentionally walking the bases loaded. The strategy proves successful when he induces the next 3 batters to ground out to complete the 11-9 victory at Chicago's Southside Park. On this date in 1924, Washington Senator right-hander Walter Big Train Johnson strikes out 14, including 6 consecutive batters to tie an American League mark, en route to tossing a 4-0 one-hitter over Chicago. The 4th inning single by Harry Hooper spoils the Big Train's bid for his 2nd career no-hitter. And on this date in 1991 at the Metrodome, Kirby Puckett hits 5 singles and a triple in the Twins' 10-6 loss in 11 innings to the Texas Rangers. The outfielder's performance marks the 2nd time he collected 6 hits in a game, marking him as the first modern-era major leaguer alongside Doc Creamer and Jim Bottomley, along with Jimmy Fox, to accomplish the feat twice during their career. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this date in baseball history. Find us on YouTube and Facebook today. Right-hander Jason Adams isn't getting easier now. Comes in with a 1.48 ERA. Right-handers are batting 171 against him. Left-handers 0.95. So I guess in theory it's better that we have a right-hander coming to the plate. Jason Adams, the ex-Tampa Bay Ray. Was their closer at one point. Ozuna digs in. First pitch on the way to big Marcel is off the plate, wide, sweeper, it's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup, the 1-0. Braves Padres tied at 1 here in the 8th. The pitch. Swing! That ball's lifted into left field, but just got underneath it. I mean, just got underneath it. That's one of those Marcel swings where if he gets just a little more to the barrel, it's gone. We'll be back in a flash. 1-1 your score. Top of the 9 we go.
Everybody's attention for 1 minute. Here's something I need to say to everybody. I like fat women, and they like me. Anybody got a problem with that? Anybody? Big girls need love too, baby.
Well, hey there, pal. First draft?
How can you tell?
Look, there's a few things you're going to want to know. Kickers go fast. You're going to take one early. And don't worry about running backs. You can always trade for one later.
Cool, thanks.
And one more thing. It's good to have you here. You're my friend.
Armchair.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Almost Good Beer. Remember, Ed's Almost Good Beer was brewed in God's country when God wasn't looking.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac McGee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Everybody had a team. At Orting, Washington, the Fats took on the Leans. In Kansas, crowds watched the Mother Hubbards, men playing in women's clothing. Under guard at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, Geronimo's Chiricahua Apaches played ball against the U.S. Army and won. At some games, a keg of beer stood just to the side of third base for encouragement. Any man who made it to third was entitled to a dipperful.
Welcome back. Braves. This game ends 1 run. It'll be our 22nd one-run game of the year. By far the most in Major League Baseball. It always feels like we're sitting here fighting for a run here and there. Can you imagine how bad this season would be if we didn't have a pretty good pitching staff? I know a lot of folks think our pitching staff isn't that good. It's been really darn good. They've pitched well, say, after the first couple of weeks. After that, it's been pretty darn impressive. First pitch on the way from Raziel Iglesias. Eyeglass fires a sinker to Machado. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup, the 0-1. Changeup misses. 1-1. 1-1. Just misses changeup. 2-1. Two-one count. Swing and a miss slider. 2-2. Braves 1, Padres 1, top of the 9th. Due up for the Padres. The 2-2 blasted. She gone. Well, it's a one-run game. There you go. Hanger, a banger into the upper deck, into left field, and the Padres have grabbed the one-run lead. That was a hanging slider. He got all of it. So back to the drawing board. We'll bring Jackson Merrill to the plate. Bogarts and Sheets. That was a cement mixer. They were gunning for the outside edge, and it drifted back in. First pitch on the way to Merrill is 94 inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing. Dribbles it over to second. 4-3 put out. One down. One down. Iglesias goes back to work. First pitch to Bogarts is well inside. It's 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. You hate that they've done this again, but at the same token as the 1-1 swing, rips it down the line foul. I mean, the fact that this offense doesn't give the pitching any breathing room is absurd at this point. You have all these heavy bats in this lineup, and they don't produce any runs. Something has got to give. The 1-2. 95 outer edge, strike 3. Delayed call by Beck again. 2 down. Two away, and that'll bring up the left-handed bat of Gavin Sheets, who he went yard. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Robert Suarez is warming up in the pen for the Padres, their closer, and he's a tough customer. The 0-1. 1-1. 1-1 count. Changeup just misses. 2-1. The 2-1 from Iglesias, his 15th of the night. Changeup misses well off the plate down. Ball 3-1. The 3-1 right there at the knees, full count. Probably a touch below, but he got the benefit of the doubt. If you're wondering about Suarez and what he's been up to lately, this is a 3-2, pops it up high in the left field, and that'll end the inning, but not before the Padres get their second solo shot of the night. We've only got one. It's Verdugo, Murphy, and Ozzie when we return.
I was in the pool! I was in the pool! Bobby Bowden, you're the coach for me. Bobby Bowden, please stay in Tallahassee. Them Gator fans used to joke and clown when Florida State would come to town, but they stopped laughing thanks to Bobby B.
There are quite a few people here whose lives have somewhat changed overnight. They have blown up. They've got brand deals and money just being thrown at them left and right. And with that success, oftentimes they are accused of changing and selling out. And I want to be very clear about the type of person I am and will always be, because if and when that day comes, I want people to know that it has always been my goal to sell out, and you won't be able to talk to me, peasant. Anyway, still don't have a job. Armchair.
That is a Dave & Buster's power card. Yes, now,
Does your Dave & Buster's card work at any other similar establishments, like, say, TGI Fridays?
Mine does not.
No, it doesn't.
Believe me, I've tried it. Several locations.
Okay, well, yeah, because if you recall, I've actually been with you on many of those occasions where you've tried.
Right.
By the spring of 1861, there were 62 member clubs in the National Association of Baseball Players. Free blacks in northern cities had established their own teams. And Henry Chadwick was trying to start a baseball club in Richmond, Virginia, when the new season was suddenly interrupted.
Robert Suarez comes in with a 2.7 ERA, but the thing about him is he has been really good. He had one bad outing on May 12th against the Angels where he gave up 5 in a third of an inning. As the first pitch to Verdugo is smacked back foul, it's 0-1. Other than that, he gave up 1 run in 1 inning versus Tampa on April 27th and 1 run in 1 inning against Toronto his last time out. 98 inside. Just misses 1-1. So though he has a 2.7 ERA, realistically, he's had the 1 bad outing. The rest has been pretty darn impressive. 1-1 count. Outside wide, 2-1. Braves obviously saw him a couple of times start the season. He went 2 innings of no earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk against Atlanta. No hits. The 2-1 way outside wide ball, 3-1. So a 3-1 to Doogie. Trying to work his way aboard. On deck would be Smurf. 3-1 swing, hits it up the middle. That's going to dribble through for a base hit. And let's go, Dr. Doogie.
What's going on? Blood pressure's coming up. The pulse is getting stronger. Get the OR ready. We've got a live one going and we want him to stay that way.
And Verdugo representing the tying run. And Eli White will come in to run for Verdugo. They're going to have Smurf hit. I thought they might pinch hit with the lefty Baldwin, but they might be holding him for later in this inning. First pitch on the way, swung on, chops it off his foot. Is he going to roll fair? Barely rolls fair. They're going to get him on a 2-3 put out, and Eli is going to get down to second, representing the tying run. That was close. Anybody with any speed is going to beat that out. Is it just kind of dribbled? It must have avoided Smurf's foot. I thought it hit it at first, but they got him by maybe a half step. Good throw by Diaz. He doesn't get that throw. That could be a disaster. They definitely got him by about a half step. That'll bring Ozzie Albies to the plate. Ozzie 0 for 3, batting just .222 now. Runner at second, 1 out. First pitch to Ozzie is outside wide. It's 1-0. Wonder if Eli might think about taking off. Get down to third with less than 2 outs, but of course he does run the risk of being thrown out by Diaz, who's got a pretty darn good arm, as we just saw. 1-0, swing, swats it back foul, 99 miles an hour. It's 1-1. On deck is Harris, and then Allen, and you would think if the game goes that far, it would be Baldwin. And Drake does have a batting helmet on as he's standing in the dugout, but he's creeping as he is essentially in the hole. The 1-1 swing, swats that one back. Just mistiming it up. It's 1-2. Ozzie, his follow through got the back of the helmet of Diaz Ozzie checked on him to make sure he's okay. 1-2 count. Runner at second. Huge hole on the left side. If Ozzie can just slap it over there, it's going to cause a lot of problems because all you have is Machado by himself, and Eli will be taken off on contact. The 1-2. Outside wide. 2-2. Infield back and to the right, and the Padres, they've been doing this all game. Their shortstop is as far over before being called illegal as you can be in the infield. The 2-2 count. Brings it. Swing! That ball's laced into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Here comes the book of Eli, and they're going to... What in the world happened? I don't know what happened. Did he get deked? It was a base hit by Ozzie. Somehow, Eli White is tagged out at second, going back to second. He had to have been told by Tui that that ball was caught. That's the only thing that makes sense. Keeping a look at yeah, but I think Tui was telling him to hold, and then he puts his arms up like, what are you doing? I don't think Tui was sending him back. What in the hell was that? I've never seen anything like that from professional baseball players. First pitch to Harris, a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. I don't think that was Tui. You showed him putting his arms up, and then when he turned around to go back to second, he put his hands out like, what are you doing? So he misread it somehow. That was a terrible. That could cost him the game. That is unbelievable. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2, and Michael doesn't appear to even be in the neighborhood of being able to catch up with this ball. That was unbelievable. That is the worst display of base running I have seen in Major League Baseball in my entire life. And Eli White's usually good. So I don't know what in the world. I don't know if because he was putting on the stop sign so early that he thought he was telling him to go back. The 0-2, fouls it back. We'll do it again. If he sends him, he's probably going to score. But if nothing else, you'd have runners on the corners with one out. God bless. Either way, I'm putting that on the coach. The 0-2 fouls it away. We'll do it again. Just because you have to wait to put that stop sign up. I mean, this jackass has done a bad job his entire time as the third base coach since he's been with the Braves. But this is pathetic. And all the also-rans in the Braves media, they're gonna back his play and say it's not his fault. But the 0-2 swings, fouls it back. We'll do it again. But anyway, you look at it, he puts the stop sign up so quick. I still don't understand why Eli White turned around. I think Eli White must have gotten deked by someone who said he caught it. That's the only thing that makes sense. But anyway, you look at it, the 0-2 fouls that back. My God. (0-2) count. This, by the way, will be the seventh pitch of the at-bat. Harris has been fighting it off. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. I mean, you don't deserve to win a game when you do something that dumb. That's worse than the butt fumble. Baldwin stands on deck, but will he get a chance to swing? 1-2 to Harris. Brings it. Swing, dribbles it up the middle. Should be a 6-4 put out, and that'll end the game. Braves lose a tough one. We'll put that on a combination of Eli, White, and Tui. Tui's got to be yelling at him saying, come to third, come to third. You cannot let him turn around. He just puts his arms up, for those of y'all didn't see it. He just put his arms up and goes, what are you doing? Very passive-aggressive, and that's the way he's been the entire time he's been there. They won't do anything, but he needs to go. He needs to be fired. And honestly, Eli White should be benched for at least a few games. I don't want to see him in the lineup. That was a terrible job by Tui, a terrible job by Eli, and a terrible job by the Braves offense, who once again spits the bit. Glacius will get the loss, but I'm not going to put it all on him. Hell, we ought to have a tie game. It makes no sense. Something that he said or did got Eli to turn around. He's past Machado, so it's not even Machado deking him off. That made no sense. There was no one at third base. So he thought, for some reason, that he was getting doubled up. That's the only thing that makes sense. Why he thought that, I don't know. But a bunch of tomfoolery, an embarrassing job by the Braves tonight on Acuña night. The only silver lining, two silver linings. Chris Sale pitched an outstanding game, but he got no run support. And Ronald Acuña Jr. had 2 hits, including the solo shot. We'll see y'all tomorrow. That was pathetic. We'll try to rebound. Good night, Irene. Y'all have a good one, Braves country. It's fitting, too. They're showing the Padres Braves final score. And the Padres cast, they have our logo as the Toronto Blue Jays logo. And I would complain, but hell, we're not even playing well enough to be calling ourselves the Blue Jays. Y'all have a good night. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, strike two! Fraud! Cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.